Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very, very special episode of the Four Jobbers podcast. I am, of course, Ginger Heat, one of the four jobbers, and we are live together for the first time ever, our first live recorded podcast with the four of us here because Jordan has flown in from Edinburgh, Scotland, the body from Kirkcuddy. Jordan Deves, how are you doing, man? How does it feel to be here live in the Jobber Dome in person?
Is it recording?
Are you streaming?
Steven, film this. Man, I'm good. This has been a wild trip. Like, I've been in Montreal now for a few days. We've been at some shows. We've had a good time, but the voice is taking a bit of a hit today. So if I sound huskier than normal, that's because these wobbly pops and shouting "fuck you, Roman" at the top of my voice.
Sing like the ska music.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Also, I think I'm allergic to cats. But, I'm not.
Acknowledge Frank.
Everyone acknowledge Frank. There we go.
New tribal chief.
But yeah, man, I'm good. I'm actually hyped to be actually with you. Like, it's weird. It's still, like, even being here for a few days, it's still weird actually being in your presence. Odd. But yeah, I'm glad. Let's get it done.
And of course, we are joined by two of our expert jobbers here as well that have come out and given a lot of time to this. So we appreciate both of you very, very much. We have, of course, Jason here. Jason, the jobber they hate. Jason, the enigmatic, the charismatic, the bizarre, the mysterious, the wonderful. Jason, how has it been for you to meet Jordan and have him here in your city?
Honestly, a bit disappointing. I expected more. Oh, no. Are we recording? No, I mean, I feel
everything you wanted it to be.
Yeah, like I feel like I know you. We talk a lot. It's video, but now getting to smell you and feel your presence is just what I always dreamed of. So I'm happy you're here.
I've noticed he does walk behind me a lot. Does he like sniff my head?
It's not your head.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. Yeah, fair.
And then you gave him a bop on the lips there, a little kiss. Was that your first man-on-man kiss?
Yeah, we did have a kiss, yeah.
We did?
Did you?
Yeah, we went in a pub, I think I said.
No, you kissed him.
I kissed everyone.
On the cheek. Okay.
Is that why that guy behind us at Smackdown was yelling "kiss" over?
Yeah. It was actually for me and Jason.
Okay, I understand.
I thought he was an incel. Turns out it was just cute to see it happen.
Yeah.
Speaking of incels, the perfect segue over to the Waxy, the Venomous, the son of the dentist. He is also not an incel at all. He's a wonderful person. He is the Wax Mamba. How's it been for you to see Jordan again? Because you've been to Scotland, you've been to Edinburgh.
Yep.
And what is it like to have him now in your city and show him around this time?
Oh, it's great. I actually loved kind of acting as a tour guide and showing you all my favorite watering holes and spots, and I mean, even to an extent, some of you, because Jason doesn't get out into the city very much.
No,
you have your spots that you really, really like. So it was nice to go around and show certain areas of Montreal, and again, like Jason was saying, it's weird because I've only ever met Jordan the one time 7 years ago, but we talk every week. And so how's it going to be actually picking him up at the airport? And sure enough, it was like no time had passed.
Yeah, it's like, I remember standing outside the airport waiting for you guys to pick me up, and I was like, I mean, they don't recognize me, obviously. We speak every week.
And you
they see
quite
me
stand
every
out.
week. Yeah, of course. And I was standing there in my kilt, so it made it even easier for you.
True.
And it was windy. So.
Yeah. Full bungus.
it's really cool too.
Yeah, it froze off. Oh, thanks, away.
You got something to say?
Oh, nice arch there.
Oh, flick of the tail. Look at that flick of the wrist.
There we go. But yeah, like it was when I first got here and was waiting for you guys, I was like, what's it going to be like? I'm going to see the guys, and is it going to feel really awkward in it? No awkwardness, straight into it, just jobbing away.
And you've been to Montreal before, so it's not your first time, but this is an extended visit, seeing more. Is there anything that's changed from the last time you've been here? Anything that's impressed you this time over the last time?
I was saying this to Wax yesterday, I think. I was, when we got to the hotel, and I was like, right, okay, I need to try and work out in my head. I'm pretty sure that if I go that way, then nope. I remember now. If I take a right here, I'll end up nope. Everything I thought I knew, I don't. So it was a waste of time coming that last time. Apparently, I didn't take any of it in. Granted, it was for a wedding, so I was probably just drunk from day dot until I left. But
it's been pretty similar.
Yeah, to be fair,
until today.
I'm going to watch this back because I won't actually remember it happening in real life because I'll be that steaming. There was a few things that I was surprised by. Obviously, the last time I was here was the tail end of summer, so it was not warm, but it was like relatively dry, and it was
mild.
Yeah, mild. Yeah. And this time I get here, I get told, "Oh, you've brought the Scottish weather," and I'm like, "Oh, it's quite cold here." But, all right, fine. And then the next day, just wild snowstorms up to my nipples. I decided to go for a walk. I was like, yeah, I'll just, get some walking in. I sat on an airplane yesterday, so I need to get some steps in. Worst idea of my life. My mustache actually froze to my lip, so I had to unpick it at one point. It was a whole ordeal. But
And you got some new gloves?
I ended up having to buy new gloves. I actually bought the gloves that I have with me for this trip. Put them on, and my fingers were like icicles. I was like, "That's fucking crap gloves, man."
I don't wear gloves. We don't wear gloves.
I do.
You do?
Yeah. All right.
You just put your hands in your pockets. So.
Warm hands are for losers,
you
apparently.
use your sleeves. You put them in your sleeves.
No, you don't do that.
You just bought like a
You look like a wizard.
Wizard sleeves.
oh loose ass.
Now there's been a few haunted incidents, such as loose ass. Waxman, where is this guy? You hear us yelling loose ass now. What happened? Why is this a thing?
I got Well,
Why is your ass so loose?
Tell us.
Well, I don't think it actually is. This is the
Let's
worst
see.
part.
Let's judge.
Yeah, we've seen Frank's.
Yeah, the big circle in downtown Montreal. It's dedicated to me.
Inspiration.
No, before the chamber, we just want a quick spot to grab a jar and some food, load up. So we went to Trois Brasseurs, nice little chain brewery in Montreal. Also, Jordan's a big fan of the local beers, micro beers. So we had to go there.
We've been leaning on you for a lot of that, because those that don't know, Jordan
Me and Drew McIntyre
brews his own beer with our buddy Massimo, and Waxman is a connoisseur of microbreweries here in Montreal. So he's giving us the tour as well, because a lot of places I haven't been to yet as well, like Ciboire and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were going to this one, and Trois Brasseurs you've been to Trois Brasseurs
I was here last time,
but it was close by. We needed to get in and out pretty quickly. And so, we were having a beer, and I went to the bathroom, and urinals were taken, so I went into the stall. And, sometimes as you're peeing, a duck escapes. It happens. And, it's pretty normal, right? It's normal. It happens. You're pushing things out.
You're there to release everything.
You're there to release. Exactly.
Well, maybe not
exactly.
If you're standing on the toilet.
Well, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Also at the urinal.
Gases.
But as soon as that happened, I hear these two children giggling and just start yelling, "Loose asshole! Loose asshole!" And I'm like, they can't be talking about me, right? What are the chances? Maybe they're just yelling about something else. They're kids, right? Who knows? And so eventually I do finish what I'm doing, and I get out of the stall, and they giggle, they see me, and they run out. So I got buried by children.
And they waited to make sure they saw you.
They wanted to see. They want me to really feel shame.
Yeah.
They really want me to feel shame. So I got victimized by children and fortune cookies.
Double
fortune cookie.
Yes. So that's why you might hear, and you might have heard if you were at the elimination chamber, you might have heard people yelling "loose ass." That was us at my expense. I earned it. It was a great moment. In hindsight, it's funny. It's a good story, and it's not true.
There's been a few events since we've been here in terms of stuff we've been up to, and all of that. I think one of my highlights is definitely rocking up to the pub, Brutopia, after the chamber.
Oh yes.
We get in and straight upstairs to the bar, grab our drinks, fire around the corner, and our somehow don't know, but they were just a fan club for the four jobbers. We're all sitting there.
We came in to be fans of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But no, we get it's the four jobbers. Scotland! And of course, that meant that I had to immediately erupt into a chorus of Flower of Scotland in front of everyone in that pub. I could actually feel the walls shaking. My voice was that loud. Yeah, it was a beautiful moment, and I'm glad I could bring that to the people of Montreal. There was more singing later in the night, which that was less operatic, more Jack Black. There was definitely bits of debris flying around.
There's a fucking chair that's falling apart, and so he had slammed it back together, but at one point he fucking chopped it. He's got this part of the chair, playing it like a guitar, singing in the bar, screaming. He built the chair back together after, so kudos to him, but... Jason...
Even when I'm steaming, I've still got the ability to put things back together.
Still a good patron.
Yeah,
good patron.
Yeah. Do you have any standout moments or things that have happened? There's been really great stuff, hilarious stuff. There's also been some haunted incidences. Haunted for us is, something that's just weird, scary, you know.
Yes, you need to learn jobberese if you're gonna watch the 4 jobbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jobberese, jobberess.
Jobberese, yeah.
Yeah, jobberese.
I got to meet the good boy Peter Rosenberg. Shout out to Peter Rosenberg, a nice guy. He liked my shirt, or he was maybe appalled by it, but whatever. He enjoyed it.
Yeah, he was watching you pee, right?
Well, we all went to the bathroom. We all went to the bathroom together.
As we do.
And we went to the most convenient
Yes, we
bathroom
just-
that was
yes.
loaded, and it was disgusting. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to a faraway bathroom to enjoy my bathroom time. And luckily, I ran into Peter Rosenberg and his entourage, and it was cool. And we also met Hit Row getting pizza.
Oh yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
Hit Row.
Shout
Friends
out
of
to
the
Pizza
show.
Danny.
Friends
Shout
of the
out
show.
to Pizza Danny.
Yes.
Yeah, bumped into them. I mean, that conversation was awesome. It started
Yeah.
with you going in, right?
Because they're standing inside Pizza Danny. It's a little tiny pizza place on a side street, or on a good street, but it's like this side little tiny spot. There's enough room for 4 people in the little thing. You're grabbing a slice, and then you're getting out. And then we see them in there, and we're like,
No, like, is that them?
I think it was
Is that
Jordan.
them?
I think you called it out.
It was it was B-Fab that when I saw, I was like, there's not many people cut about with that look and that hair, right? Especially in Montreal tonight.
yeah.
Of course.
And this was after Smackdown where they had just been on. So
Yeah.
I remember seeing them and thinking, I'm pretty certain. Am I? Yeah. Guys, I think that's them.
Yeah.
And then Brad pumped up the chest, gets the confidence. Let's go.
Yeah.
Straight in
Yeah.
the door. And then, you know what happened?
I got complimented, first of all. Because I was staring right at her. Obviously, there's 3 beautiful people in there. She said, I love your hair, beautiful color, all this. And I just went,
Melted. Like, oh no, all my confidence is gone.
Yeah.
so I was starting to talk to them, ask them a little bit, and then Jordan rocks in as well.
I could tell your confidence was waning a little bit.
I had
You
my
were
support.
overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I thought, boys,
Yeah.
you stay here. I'll deal with this. So I rock up, pop in the door, straight in, and I hear, oh, and this is my buddy. He's from Scotland. And I get greeted with, again, another conference killer. I was like, flipping heck, I didn't know what I was walking into. And I get told, oh, Scotland, yeah, oh, I love Scotland. You guys make great soup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, yeah, we do. I make a really nice butternut squash. And
And of all the
sweet
things,
potato
too,
soup.
when you ask Jordan, like, what's your go-to meal that you would make for somebody, he goes, I make the best soup. And so the fact that she brought up soup, and he's like, you have to come to mine. If you're
Come
ever
to
in
mine.
Scotland again, come to mine. I'll make you soup.
So yeah, this is a shout out for you. When you do make it back to Scotland, I will make you some soup.
A great shout out though to all of Hit Row.
Friend of the show.
Top
Friend of the
dollar.
show.
Anytime
Shanti.
people talk shit
Yeah.
about them now,
No,
personally,
they're
hurts
messing with the 4 jobbers.
Yeah.
They were actually incredibly kind.
Yeah.
They actually took the time to talk to us
Yeah.
a little bit.
Photos.
It really wasn't like we got to get in, get out. Like let's get
And
out.
it was
of
a
here
tight
thing.
squeeze. It was a little shop that like 5 people max.
And your
at a
dirty,
time.
drunk wrestling fans are coming in. You just want a slice of pizza, and we're coming in hot. And
They were
But
very, very
They
kind.
ordered a whole pie.
They ordered a whole pie.
And then to
Yes.
take the picture with us, she's like giving us some, hold this pizza, I'm taking a picture with these guys. Like,
Yeah.
Sick.
Really
yeah,
cool.
It's cool.
So,
Good treatment.
uh,
Cool.
Hit Row.
Goated.
You have 4 fans and the 4 jobbers for sure.
They're goated.
They are goated. Thank you,
Yay.
Jason. Mine and Jason's favorite word, goated.
There we go.
Me and Jason just say it all the time.
They're in the four haulers. The 4 jobbers hall
They're
of
in
fame.
our Hall of Fame. We
Yeah.
acknowledge you.
Yeah.
The
Hit
inaugural
Row.
class. Hit row.
But Hit Row wasn't the only cool people we met.
No.
This past weekend, and
Taking
we had the opportunity to, of course, he's timing it right now, as cats do, as cats do. We never said our production value was good, but
we're jobbers. It's in the name.
It was really our first opportunity, aside from here and there, getting to meet a lot of people in the Montreal wrestling scene.
People that we've seen at shows for a long
Seen
time.
at
We go, we
shows.
watch the show, and we kind of
We know who they are. They know who we are. Got to cross paths with them. Actually got to meet a lot of them, talk to a lot of them, and everyone was just brilliant, super kind.
couple shout outs in particular you want to send out? Or?
A couple of shouts in particular. I'm going to forget some names. 'Cause I met, we met a lot, and I'm terrible with names. So
Yeah.
if you guys
And
remember
we-
any, yeah. And also when I met them, I was
Couple jars
a
in.
little. But Sean Campbell, Erica,
JT the producer?
JT
Yeah,
producers of
sick.
Giordano, Andrew, of course, our buddy,
Andrew.
Matt,
Legend.
Zach.
Yeah.
Lawrence,
Oh, yeah.
I love
Spencer,
wrestling. I
all
love
you
wrestling,
guys.
guys. Check them out for sure. I love wrestling. They
Again,
do a
I
bunch of
apologize
different
if there's names that I'm forgetting, but all of you, if you saw the 4 jobbers this weekend, just know that it was appreciated to meet you, and you were great people, and we would love to chat more.
Absolutely.
Shout
you
out.
You made this guy's trip to Montreal worth it. because I'm telling you right now, the pay-per-view didn't quite hit the note that I was hoping it did. And we'll get onto that, of course, in a bit. But yeah, thank you so much for putting up with this pish.
I don't want to talk about the show at all. I don't want to mention it.
All right.
I know
Sorry,
the whole
see
thing
you all
about
later.
this.
See you all
Thanks
next
very
time.
much.
Follow us on
we gotta talk about
Instagram,
the show.
Twitter.
We have to talk. I'm just saying I don't want to. I can't. We're going to do it.
Well, why don't we, like...
Yeah, how about we ease into it and we talk about the Smackdown?
Yeah, we went to
before
Smackdown as well.
All right, we went to
Elimination
Friday
Chamber.
night. We went to SmackDown. Saturday night, the premium live event. So we went to both shows. And sure, you guys want to kick it off? Give me some SmackDown talk. What do you guys think?
You have the card from SmackDown?
I have the card.
Nice.
So
Show us the way.
again, we weren't anticipating going to SmackDown, right? Our priority was the Chamber, but the prices were good, the deal was good, tickets were going fast, so let's do it. And first of all, shout out to a couple dark matches. Won't talk about them, but shout out to a couple
Shout 'em
dark
out.
matches. We had Braun Strowman and Ricochet defeating Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro of Legado del Fantasma. Fun match.
Yep.
Braun's quite over. Ricochet's quite over in Montreal.
I mean, it's one of those, I wasn't
Little,
expecting that. Like, you get little nuggets of goodness in amongst some of the pish. I'm like, do you know what? I got to see some people that I didn't think I'd get to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's it. I was super happy because we got to see Charlotte Flair also take on Sonya Deville.
Of course.
Charlotte looks great. You know, great to see her wrestle in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's goated. I mean, it's hard to find
absolutely goated.
more talented, more prestigious woman wrestler, I think, in the whole world. She might be number one. She's like on that tier, I think, 11 times champ.
It's hard to go against her, and she brought it. Sometimes in a dark match, maybe you wonder, but no, she was wrestling as if it was a main event of WrestleMania.
Pulling all the
pulling all the stops out, and then we also got to see someone I was really excited to see, L.A. Knights. Yeah! And he did lose. He did lose to Bray Wyatt, and what was nice is actually Bray went around
I walked around the arena afterwards.
shook a bunch of hands. He was getting mobbed. He was very polite about it. But then we can get into the actual card, the actual stuff that you would have seen on television if you were not in the stadium, in the arena. And we started out, someone else who I was also really excited to see, just her stardom, her name value, Ronda Rousey. To the point where my valet, who does not know wrestling much at all, as soon as you mentioned Ronda Rousey's name, Ronda Rousey, I know Ronda Rousey, of course. So she and Shayna Baszler were taking on Natalya, hometown girl,
Canada.
number one in Jordan's heart,
Oh, I love her.
and Shotzi. And so, any impressions of this match, fellas? Do you remember much about it? I know the crowd was not hot for Ronda. They were chanting at her all sorts of
You
dirty
can't
things.
wrestle.
I don't like that. I don't like that chant.
No, because I think she can wrestle.
Yeah.
She absolutely can.
I mean, her second run hasn't been as good as her first, but her first was great.
Yeah, the problem isn't her wrestling. The problem is the promos. The wrestling is still there.
wrestling is
I don't
never
know.
been
Yeah,
so
to
actually-
me, wrestling. Promos is part of wrestling.
Yeah,
it is.
But to chant, you can't.
But like, I guess they're
wrestle.
saying literally she can't technically wrestle in the ring, but she can.
But she can.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of that chant. That's why.
Yeah, no, I get that.
it's just
Boo her all you want.
she's a heel.
It was a great showcase of four incredible talents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether you like them or not, I don't think it really mattered. That didn't seem to be the point. It was just,
Exactly.
hey, we're going to bring some of our biggest talent to Montreal for a SmackDown show, and we're going to show you what they can do. Did it make sense for a story? Not really.
But we're seeing a SmackDown show. We get to see Ronda Rousey. What we can't complain.
Well, I mean, Natalia got a great pop.
of course.
Yeah.
She's first
Yes, she
out
did.
on the show that night.
First
Yeah.
out.
That song hits, and you lose it.
Yeah.
Montreal has a special relationship with anyone from the Heart Foundation family.
Yeah, especially
Especially Shawn
I had to
Michaels.
balance it out,
I
you
mean,
know.
Absolutely.
no.
Who's your daddy, Montreal?
Who's your daddy, Montreal? So I think that was a nice match. Starting out with Ronda Rousey, get the crowd into it,
Yeah.
get them roused up.
Roused.
We actually didn't. This wasn't a match, but it was a segment that I wanted to talk about because they involve our friends Hit Row. They're coming out, cutting a little promo, and out comes Bray Wyatt and his friend Uncle Howdy, and
Uncle Howdy. Yeah.
Boy, howdy.
Boy
I don't know.
Howdy.
I'm a big Bo Dallas mark, so I'm
too.
hoping that Bo's.
He's believer.
I'm a Bo lever 100%.
Big time
so
Bo levers.
no matter what, if he's in the company in any way, I'm excited. So I really hope it's him.
But what was interesting is that, and also the audio texture was a bit rough at this point, so we didn't make it out quite well at first.
Right.
But we did go back and see that Bray seemed to imply that the next person he was going after is the winner of Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. We'll talk about that confusion.
Very random.
Very random.
Yep.
Is there anyone you would prefer to see?
I think in terms of because it's
Anyone.
This would anyone, but I think it's going to be a WrestleMania thing, right? And if you want a match, Brock versus Bray is ridiculous.
All three. Put them all three in there.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to
know you're
how
not triple threat,
Brock
but-
manages the spookiness because he's
Yeah.
always been the exact opposite.
Yeah,
he just
yeah,
wants to
true.
kick ass.
But
take
like
names.
he's fought Taker before.
But he's fought Taker.
And Taker has his magic,
Yes.
the sit-ups and all of that. So you know that I think he's all about the production, and they're laughing at each other. Like that.
Yeah.
That's an iconic moment right there, right? So
I think no matter what happens, it's going to be exciting because we're going to get more Bray. Now, Bray's
Yep.
story has been lukewarm.
Yep.
I would say.
Watered down.
Yeah, a little bit. It's just taking too long. We just need a payoff. Like,
Yeah.
and if the payoff is going to be at Mania against somebody like Brock, that gets eyes on that match immediately. This is not an insult to LA Knight, but if you want to showcase the new Bray, I don't know if using a talent like LA Knight quite does that because he's not established in front of the fans. I mean,
yeah, I think
The main problem was it was a sponsored ad match.
Yes.
yeah, that's
Mountain Dew.
It was more
match.
about the dew
Absolutely.
than it was
giant Mountain
anything
Dew
else.
logo in the ring and stuff, and
And it was in the dark.
Like it's just
Yeah,
a weird.
it's
It's,
weird.
it's really hard to get that over.
So it was horrible.
But LA Knight and Bray, I think, did do something good for
Good
both of
build
them.
to
Good
a
build.
horrible payoff.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
that's
Do you know what's
fair.
Good
annoying?
build.
If you just
This
spoke
is maybe
about
a theme.
dark match, the street fight that we just
Yeah.
watched was actually better than
It
the
was.
pitch you-
It was.
And it
better
wasn't
too.
even
Absolutely.
anything. It wasn't anything special, but it was better. 'cause
It just
was a
it
match.
just made more sense. It wasn't
It was about
blurred
5
in
minutes,
this.
and
yeah.
it flowed really well.
We got a
There was
table.
Got a
Tables.
table.
There was it was much better than what
Absolutely.
that was. And it is what it is.
I forgot to mention I was the only one who picked Ronda and Shayna to win.
Oh,
I'm just
predictions,
I just
yeah.
know wrestling better than all of you. It is what it is. You know how it is.
I thought Natty was going to get the win in Canada.
See, I think it's as much as you
Had
want
too
to
much
give the
faith.
home, I mean, WWE considers everyone from Canada.
she's
to
from
be
Calgary.
hometown when you're in Canada.
Yeah, but you say
I
that,
thought
right?
that was too easy.
When I was at Clash of the Castle, everyone was building it up. Oh yeah, Drew's going to win the title because it's from his nearly hometown. It's
He's from
like
near there.
3 countries away,
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
completely different capital city.
That's why it's nowhere near Sammy. Oh, we'll get
Well,
that.
yeah, exactly.
Talk about it. We'll talk
Yeah.
about
I
it.
might leave the podcast.
Might
for
have
a
to step
second.
away.
I might step away. I don't
For
know.
those who have seen our Twitter or Instagram, the video of Brad's response to that match,
Legend.
you're going to get the
Yes.
full take of it.
We will give
in a bit.
Brad the
In a bit.
floor.
Yeah.
No,
Still to come.
I'm gonna fall on the floor and
Coming
die.
soon.
Die.
Brad's thoughts.
But we did have other matches. Speaking of Drew, actually, he was next up. Him and Sheamus, the Banger Bros.
The blokes.
Wink,
that's what we
wink,
call
hey,
them.
it's,
match of the night for SmackDown.
Yes, and they took on the Viking Raiders. And yes, I
Kudos to
thought
them.
this was a fantastic match. I think, Jason, you said it was match of the night?
It was stiff. It was a good length,
Yeah.
and it was really hard.
And it was,
No, but
Appreciate the firmness.
I
of
did-
it.
I wasn't quite sure what that was.
like you
felt-
started giggling.
it
before.
felt like a pay-per-view.
It felt
match.
like a Banger Bros match.
No, it felt like a
It was
pay-per-view
long and
match.
hard, and it felt real good.
It could have been a pay-per-view match.
Yes, it could have.
Could have been. Absolutely.
I didn't really know who was going to win. It's possible they gave it to the Raiders just because they
Yeah.
need like a boost, and obviously Sheamus and Drew could lose, and it wouldn't hurt them that much. But it was the most entertaining match for sure. It was a solid match, and I enjoyed myself banging the bros.
How do you feel about Sarah Logan's addition to that tag team? Really quick, just do you find it adds to it? Do you
No,
like it?
I don't really care.
I'd like her
it's
to
needed.
do something.
Really? You don't?
I'd like her to
No,
do something besides just being there.
doesn't-
Like she got up on the ropes, didn't she, and interfered a little
Yeah.
bit? So I feel like it's starting, maybe.
I'd like her to
I'm not
wrestle.
quite there yet.
Oh yeah,
Like,
okay,
be a
I see.
fighting
She needs to get
opponent.
physical.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah, fair. I like her because I think
I like.
It's a great fit.
I liked
Yes,
her when she was
course.
wresling on her own
But
and
use her
wrestling
better.
as part of
The Riot Squad.
The Riot,
Riot
Squad.
Squad.
Yeah.
But the Riot Squad sucks.
Yeah,
It didn't-
they did suck,
They did.
but individually they're all talented.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but everyone's
enjoyed her.
talented.
Well, you're not
Well, I'm with you. I'm with talented friends.
rubbing up against
Yeah.
talent. I like her.
my fortune
I
cookie
think she
yesterday.
does. She does something for them that hasn't been done yet, and it's just make them more formidable.
Yep.
If they're answering to a higher power or like a calling or something like that.
She's the one that made
Fine.
the dark now than the
Yeah.
Viking Raiders.
Before they were just like,
Just need her to get in the
We're
ring.
here to
though.
Viking.
Raid.
We're gonna come to lose. Like, okay.
They've already been
still
like the
lose.
Viking Experience, Viking Raiders. Wasn't there another one?
Viking
The
Express.
Viking
I don't know.
Express.
The Viking Raiders is the best iteration of them. I actually quite like that they're heels.
Yeah.
Eric and Ivar are fantastic.
No, they are. They move. They
kinda
move
hidden behind-
incredible
They move
for such
super
big,
well for
big
They-
body.
I
Hardy
love the way
dudes,
that
yeah.
they're. I mean, obviously this is well documented, but their whole thing is that they're the opposite of what you'd expect. So the weird guy is the strong one, and the big massive dude is
Yeah.
the agile one. That's
Yeah.
cool. It's a good
Yeah.
gimmick.
Exactly.
Like, it makes it more interesting to watch because you're like, I don't expect to see that from him and that from them.
So let's hope in time they grow, get her into some matches, give her even more legitimacy, get her in more hauntedness, and let's keep it going. I mean, the tag team division is looking like it's starting to grow and build, and we're starting to get some powerful tag teams. I mean, Drew and Sheamus already. I know the belts are on the Usos. It's going to take a lot to take the belts from those guys, but there's the setup now to have an incredible tag team division, and I love tag team wrestling, so I hope that we have some tag team wrestling and maybe some, we're starting to get more into factions because Triple H is okay with the factions. We got little groups, and this
give us
gives
some
more
groups.
for like
Yeah.
Hit Row and all these groups that you can have some male on female, like mixed gender matches. There's all kinds of potential now. Having a valet that is a legit wrestler, and see where it goes. I mean,
Yeah, we saw some teasing of it at Elimination Chamber.
Ooh, tease me, Daddy.
In the. All right. It's a good thing this is recorded on video because we just had a awkward pause. Speaking of the Riot
Wasn't
Squad,
awkward for me.
another former member of the Riot Squad was in action next. It was Asuka versus Liv Morgan. I'm gonna be
Oscar was
honest.
in the Riot Squad.
No, I don't remember that.
It was. So I know that at least here on the Four Jobbers, we're not as hot on Liv Morgan as
Nope.
maybe some of the
I mean,
average WWE
I will say
fans
like
are.
she's a solid hand. Like you can count on her to.
I think the booking's just not. I think the booking's
You can
just
count
not
on her
very
to put
good.
on a pretty
Is
good
the
match.
issue.
She didn't work out as
It's
the
her-
champion, unfortunately, but maybe she could build her way back up there
Again,
at
it's
some
not her
point.
talent that's the problem.
It's
her
just
character.
I don't like
sucks.
her. If she's gonna be like a brutal, like pain makes me horny kind of gimmick. Like, don't continue with the
Masochist, yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, maybe be a little bit more edgy. It's just me.
And I've said this before because I was a big fan in NXT, and she had her like Gianna Daddio character. It was like a New Jersey, like the Nikes. I don't know. There was something about it that really worked. I thought, and it gave her a bit of like a tough edge. Where now we've seen Sweet Liv for so long that they're manufacturing the hardcore piece of her instead of having it organic.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel and in time whatever. Liv is still one of the most talented wrestlers on
One
the
of the most
roster.
popular, probably, right?
Definitely one of the
yeah.
most popular.
Yeah.
Deserves to be there. She put on a great fucking show
Yeah.
all weekend long, but that's my thing.
just-
Is I think the
No,
character.
that's
It doesn't connect character wise.
Probably not for
Not about
us,
the person,
the
yeah.
character.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe
Maybe.
we're
But one thing I'll say about this match is that I think this is one match where we kind of lost a bit watching it live because Carmella was on commentary.
It was a TV match.
Yeah, and apparently she was calling out Raquel
Yeah.
a lot. So Raquel then came out.
oh, that's
And
that's the
then
thing, 'cause we
Natty
saw a
came
lot of
out,
folk
and
coming
that's
out.
where
Yeah,
Nikki came out.
Carmella's barking, and
It
then
was
Raquel comes out of
pure
nowhere.
pre-show for the
Yeah, this
the
was meant to be a
chamber.
teaser for the. This is something that you got
To
to
go home, let's keep it safe.
Yeah,
Let's have some
exactly.
fun.
Make sure no one gets hurt. That's it.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
And they did. Everyone was safe, and it was an entertaining show. I don't regret going at all.
No.
And
No, not
had
at
a fun
all.
time.
It was a good way, to
and
dip your toe in the water.
Like we were like a 7 out of 10 drinking instead of like a 10 on 10 like the Saturday.
well, we did have one more match on the card, and it was
Oh yes, of course.
the Intercontinental title. I actually quite like that the titles are sometimes getting defended on the weeklies.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and one of the obviously Roman Usos, but we also forget that we have another. I mean Bianca. We have another long title reign, and we're making the Intercontinental title mean something again.
Yeah.
Same for the U.S. title, and that's what makes it so good. And
Yes.
who better to be as a champion than Gunther?
Oh,
He looks like a
Now-
beast. Who's going to beat him? And Madcap Moss certainly did not.
no.
I mean, no, he wasn't built
He
up
wasn't
to
going
beat
to.
him. He was just like, was it a fatal 4-way number one
Yeah,
contender
contender,
match?
and-
They gave him a moment to show what he can do, and he looked like a badass against Gunther. He's a big
He's
mother
a big dude.
friend.
But he needs to go back to He needs to go back to Riddick. Madcap,
Yeah,
that doesn't
Madcap
make
needs to
sense.
go.
But what I did like about this, I mean,
Riddick is sick.
Gunther's fantastic. Hearing those chops in person, ooh, it changes you. in certain
Told you.
ways. The music in person is fantastic.
It's a good way to go out. Like if that was my last, like
Yeah,
give me one of those and I'm dead.
And then you're
That's
God.
What a way to go. What I liked is that this match almost seemed like it was meant to turn Madcap heel, because after we had that exclusive interview afterwards where Emma, "Ooh, babe," the crowd was distracted. I'm doing a Scottish accent.
babe.
That's all right.
The fucking crowd was distracted.
The crowd was distracting you, and he's like, yeah, you're right. Actually, I would have won if it wasn't for the freaking
So,
crowd.
like, was Gunther supposed to be a face?
Well, he was getting cheered like a face, which was
Yeah.
interesting. So
Well,
we
it's not
at
a face
first
in
were
both
saying that
places.
was not the intended. That's
Yeah.
not what
But
WWE
that's
was hoping
been
for.
the
But he was,
theme throughout both events we went to, I think, in terms of the chants and in terms of
Montreal
who's
does
over
what we
and who's
want.
not.
Montreal is a smart,
cheer who we want.
smart
Like,
crowd.
boo
It
who
is.
we want.
It's a Chicago. It's a Philly.
Yeah.
It's
But
a
not
Toronto.
to be the
Absolutely.
anti. A lot of the time
No,
we'll
it's
cheer.
not to be
credit to
it's not
Gunther.
to be
He deserves
contrarian.
it.
He does
Exactly.
deserve it.
They
Sometimes we'll cheer the guy who's supposed to be cheered, even
Yeah.
though he's getting booed elsewhere.
But I also
Like
think
Bret Hart.
Gunter's Rumble performance also did a lot
that's true.
for him. He set the record for a 30-man Rumble, and he's a badass. Who's going to beat him? You can talk about who's going to beat Roman, who's going to beat Bianca, who's going to beat the Usos, who's going to beat Gunther.
The problem
Yeah,
now is,
right?
though,
100%.
let's be realistic. We know who's going to beat Roman.
Oh yes,
Boo.
we'll get to that.
We will get to that.
We'll get
we
to
know,
that. It's hard to not have it
genuinely,
bleed in.
In terms of a story, I don't know who would beat Gunther. I don't
There's
know.
no
who's
one.
gonna
There's
beat
no
him.
one
gonna
ready
beat
yet.
him?
There's no one who deserves to beat
I
Gunther.
don't think so.
And that's a testament to Gunther.
So that title
I
goes
think-
on to WrestleMania.
I
Right?
think Gunther
Yeah.
it's
should.
gonna have to be a Seth Rollins.
I think Gunther should beat Honky Tonk Man's record.
What is it?
Go for it.
It's like 400, so he's not far off. He's
Oh,
at
yeah,
250. He should absolutely beat it. He should
The
not
honky
lose at
tonk
Mania.
man.
He shouldn't.
The
If
honky
the
tonk.
rumored
Just the
match
honky tonk.
is Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew, triple threat, it's gonna be a sick match. But Gunther should win that.
And I don't want to break up the blokes yet.
The blokes.
I want to keep that
Yeah,
together.
there's gonna be a tag
And you're saying no
thing,
Seth Rollins, but I'm like, who else is
Seth
that
Rollins.
good that's not in the main event picture?
The
right
only
now?
person I can think is if they turn Gunther a bit more into an anti-hero face, LA Knight.
Yeah.
Oh, LA.
I
put him
think
in
they
that
can make
mix.
a good
Yeah.
program.
That'd be a good
Why not?
fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd like to
and
see that.
There's the rumor that
Talking?
Jay White is also coming over to WWE
Yeah,
at some
that'd be
point. The
insane.
Switchblades.
If that
So
happens, that's why.
Oh.
as someone on
Holy
R
shit.
Squared Circle, shout out to R Squared Circle, even thinks Uncle Howdy is Jay White.
whoa.
No
Facial hair matches.
way.
He does the Sister Abigail. That's a movie
He looks
does.
thicker, but maybe.
But I think I
don't
still
know.
think it's
Those
Bo. I
jackets?
still think it's Bo. But
Yeah,
anyway,
the bow earring. I don't know.
I'm excited to
Either way.
see.
The bull
I
glove.
hope they don't fumble it with Gunther and keep giving him storylines, keep giving him
So
big
good.
matches too, because he's just as legitimate a champion as Roman Reigns
Yeah.
is.
No, I
Yep.
agree.
In that
Because he
division,
could be a main event guy.
Yep.
He could be, and he will be. Once he does, that's the best part. Once he does drop the Intercontinental title, he's going right into the main event picture.
Yeah.
And the
Because
main
he's-
event picture's getting
My-
spiked.
So good. Imperium's back.
Well, so
Imperium,
this is the only flaw for me for Gunther is Imperium.
Really?
I don't think they have enough credibility as a tag
Not yet.
team.
Yet.
They can't lose
every
every time they win.
Gunther
There's
wins,
no tag
Gunther wins,
division.
Gunther wins. It goes to Imperium and they just get pumped.
How
And
can
I'm
you
like,
have a tag
yeah.
division built properly when the titles are on? And we needed that, okay? The Bloodline needed to have all the belts, all the gold. It needed to happen, but the result of that is the tag team division fell apart under that and under, of course, previous creative, and that caused a huge gap in the tag division.
Yeah, and the right move for Gunther is not to be the cowardly heel.
No.
Look at him.
No.
No.
He was facing off with Brock. He was facing off with Cody. He was facing off with Drew, all
Yeah.
in the Royal Rumble. It's like,
He
come
needs
on.
to just chop them down.
Yeah.
Chop,
He will.
chop, chop.
He can.
And Imperium is a great tag team.
That's another person.
But
Yeah,
needs
that's
some
another person who because he's been injured for a little bit. But I would love to see a returning Tommaso Ciampa versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title.
That'd be cool.
But
Because,
Gargano
I mean,
in there too.
That was one of the matches of the year in NXT when they faced off.
True.
It
Yeah.
was one of the
Gargano,
best wrestling matches I've
Ciampa,
ever seen.
Small guys.
Wait,
Gunter the
Is the
big
IC
guy.
title exclusive to SmackDown, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And the US is on.
No, so
But-
Gargano's
but
a lot of
Ciampa-
Raw guy. Like, Seth is a Raw guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. That I think
They can just
they'll eventually
make up
have a
whatever they
draft,
want.
most likely.
There's been ongoing rumors
Yeah.
about drafts and stuff, I guess. I think it needs to happen eventually.
Bring the draft back and make it
Because-
legit.
make it
but we
a
need GMs.
proper-
You can't have a boardroom of fake executives pretending to make choices.
Adam Pearce on both shows, and it's like, I'm the manager of both.
They do need a still
With
a
no
ma-
power.
They need
He
a
only shows up
managerial
sometimes.
figure. They
Yeah.
need a managerial figure.
yeah,
for sure.
And Adam Pearce could be it, but give him power and give him
on one show.
on one show.
Also, who's back in WWE right now? William Regal.
Yeah.
If he wants to do it, I think he should be able to do it. If he wants to. Maybe he wants to stay off screen now. Maybe he's done, you know.
Whatever it is.
But
Great advice from William Regal was given to, was it JT the producer that gave the advice to us?
It was Andrew.
It was
Shane
Andrew.
Hawk.
Sorry.
Shout out
Pops.
to Professor H. Yes, he said, use wrestling, use it, or it'll use you.
Yeah.
And so, exactly.
Use it. Talk to everybody. Put out stuff. You know, like.
That's it.
Anyway, it was a great comment,
Great.
and it's something that they've bought into here at the IWS school and everything else that is, you know, lean into it. You know,
100%.
let it go. Go with the wave.
Yes. Shout out to IWS. At least a few of us jobbers will be at the show next month. Hope to see you there. Come see the indies.
I'm still tempted. I might still come.
Imagine.
I'll come back to Montreal.
JT producer said you're coming.
Yeah. I was told it wasn't you should come. It was you're coming.
You're coming.
I then said, well, it's my Valley's birthday, and he went, "You're coming." All right. So,
Happy birthday, babe.
See you later.
I'm bringing you over.
I mean, I could just do that. I could bring it with me.
Exactly.
Have her
Bring it
debut.
to Niagara Falls. Go out that way a little bit. I don't know.
Things are looking like possibilities now. Oh dear.
The return.
Possibility.
The show ended with, it was advertised all night. Sami Zayn comes home. He had about 10 minutes. We cheered him for about
9.5.
9.5 of them.
So I watched it back. The time for it was in the press conference. They talked about it. It was 5 minutes 22 seconds.
Wow, of just nonstop
5
clapping,
minutes
cheering.
from not from the minute he came out, but from the minute his music died and he was in the ring. 5 minutes 22 seconds.
And Sami Zayn got basically an F-bomb on television, but in French. So
Yeah.
what do you say? Roman, de me suelte chez moi, tabarnak.
Yeah. That was
Basically,
sick. That's an F-bomb.
You're in my fucking house.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds
it.
romantic.
It does.
It is. So that was SmackDown. A great little appetizer.
Yeah.
My favorite moment of the whole weekend was Sami Zayn coming out on SmackDown.
On SmackDown.
That's why I'm happy we went to SmackDown, because I got chills.
I think we would have been gutted if we had watched that on TV and not saw.
That was one of the greatest wrestling moments for me ever, and I was there, and just like having chills for 6 minutes, cheering all sorts of different cheers, and him cracking up and crying. And it was just like his whole career just flooding on him, all the appreciation,
And
all the flowers,
the old theme song.
the old theme song,
We're
everything.
all
And I'm not even a huge Sami Zayn fan. I support him; he's amazing, but you're more of a fan. But that moment was the moment of the weekend for me. Obviously, because of the outcome. Obviously, it would have been different on Saturday, but that was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible moment.
Prediction-wise, I think we all picked Gunther. I think we all picked Asuka.
Yep.
And I think we all picked Drew and...
Yeah, it was only the Rousey match that caused the difference in the things for Waxman's. I know you said you're the greatest
I'm the
wrestling
greatest.
knowledge on the podcast.
greatest.
It's your first win in many years, but
Let me have
I've
this.
never won.
oh, yo, take it, run it, go for it.
Let me have this.
We'll give you an entrance.
But we will go to the chamber. That was the main event.
Last thing to say, the Ariel Hawani video
Yes.
package that they put
Oh
together.
my
He
God.
narrated Montreal, all the Luna Vachon and the Rougeos and leading up to
It's different for me. Like, you guys are from here, so for you,
what's the
like Ariel Hawani,
Yes,
for me, is just I've heard that name,
Right.
But I don't know who he is.
like it's just an MMA commentator or something too.
And I'm like, all right, cool.
He's a
but
journalist.
I watched
He's a
that video
great journalist.
And he with Tony Khan.
several times now, and thought,
Tony.
whoa, like I can feel the passion. I can feel the admiration for the whole area. Like, it was a beautiful thing to see, and then to see so many people be passionate and respectful back to that was awesome. Like, there was moments where I think Ariel was in the crowd at times, and there was chants for him as well, which it was just a really cool thing to be part of that, but for me not be part of it because I'm not from here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I was roped in. I was suckered in. Honestly, I'm going to be...
You're honorary Montrealer.
Honorary,
absolutely.
Can do that? No.
And Ariel, like, just to see him, because I've seen him for years talking about MMA.
Yeah.
He's an MMA podcast guy. Most of the, but he also talked about wrestling. But where the views are at was MMA, right? So that really is what shot him up. And he considered controversial sometimes because he calls people out for the shit. Like, Dana White hates him.
Yeah.
They have beef.
Yeah.
And now he's got beef with AEW.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think what
everyone's
was
perfect.
very nice as a
But over nothing.
Montrealer.
Yeah.
Dana and Tony look bad shitting on Ariel.
Yeah, absolutely. As a Montrealer, I can still watch the video now, even after, and get choked up.
That's cool.
Because it's so nice. Montreal has such a rich wrestling history.
Yeah.
And that it's almost obfuscated.
Whoa.
Word of the day.
A little fancy word. Yeah, ripped off the
Japanese.
calendar.
Yeah.
It is almost though obscured, I think was the word I was trying to go for, by
Where
the
the day
screw job.
calendar is working.
Yeah,
That's right.
true. It is.
It like anytime anybody thinks Montreal, feeding time.
Feeding time for Frank.
Feed Frank more. Anytime people talk about Montreal wrestling, they inevitably go to the screw job.
Screw job.
And Montreal wrestling is so much more than that. And it was nice for that package to show, really. No, we're more than the screw job.
Yeah. Where all of these people that came before were Sami Zayn, were Kevin Owens, and everybody who's coming up next.
Speedball.
It wasn't a
Speedball,
video.
baby. Let's go.
From my perspective,
Shane Hogg.
and you guys can clarify this. It wasn't a video that was for marketing purposes. It actually did feed into the culture of wrestling in
Good point.
the Montreal and Quebec area. Like,
Yeah.
they did a similar type of thing for Clash with Drew.
Yeah.
But because it was held in Cardiff, there was moments of like the UK and Wales, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not the same.
No.
Like, you can't equate the two.
The video,
different country.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I imagine it would be the equivalent for you if they included the Heart Dungeon in a Montreal video.
ENC,
Like,
it's not the same.
As you're right,
Of course.
that's
not this,
kind
though.
of close, but it's not quite on the money, and that felt
Yeah.
very true to the Montreal and Quebec area.
It felt like this video was made for Montrealers. And it was beautifully done again. I might go watch it again and have a good cry. Now for various other reasons.
I need to go to therapy first, and then
That's right. That's right.
I can deal with my
Sitting there
trauma.
hitting his Crimax every time you watch it.
Yeah.
Crimax?
Crimax.
Or like Crimax Theater.
Yeah, there you go.
Cry Wax Theater.
Cry wax.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we will talk about the actual Elimination Chamber. And I understand it's still a very sensitive topic for many of us in this city.
Oh dear.
But we do have to talk about it. But we'll start with how the chamber started, which was with a Elimination Chamber match, and it was the women's chamber that we started off with. And it was Asuka winning the chance to face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania over Carmella, Liv Morgan, Natalya, Nikki Cross, and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, Triple H at the press conference said this was one of the best women's Elimination Chamber matches, or maybe even one of the best Elimination Chamber matches of all time. We, of course, were watching it live. Jason, do you agree with that? Yeah.
I do think it was one of the best. It's good to go back and watch it on TV, though.
For sure. Yeah. You
It's
have to.
hard. It's not easy to see everything live unless you're really close, I guess, for a chamber match. But it was really enjoyable. It was well done. I wanted Raquel to win. I thought it would be cool for a new person to be highlighted, but maybe they don't want her to go straight to WrestleMania. Still slowly building her. Asuka's like a guarantee.
Yeah.
Asuka's a draw.
Yeah.
A very good challenger for Bianca, and she needs one. Yeah,
exactly.
Because
We've been waiting
she's
for a
been
challenger.
cruising.
Absolutely.
Raquel's not established yet,
She'll get there.
and I think
She'll get there.
Bianca needs a challenge at this point.
Bianca-
and that's Asuka.
Bianca's incredible, but she's cruising. She's going through the competition. She needs a challenge.
She's too good.
They have to bring something out of her. She needs to dig down deep. All that bullshit that the face does,
Yeah.
We need that. So Asuka's a great guarantee. And I forget what your original question was, but
Was it one of the best women's Elimination Chambers?
Oh, for sure.
We've just watched a bunch of them on the network.
I don't know if
him
it's
and
one of
went
the.
through
That's it.
So many of them.
There's been so many elimination chambers. I don't know, but
It's a tough spot. Right before WrestleMania, you have this big, crazy match.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to change titles and stuff like that, storyline-wise, right before WrestleMania.
so
So a
Unless
lot of
it
the
is-
chambers
I
are
think it's a
retaining.
long-term
And I think the better
Yes.
chamber match then
It's a
is to win
showcase.
the rights or to win
Yes.
a lower card
because
title.
you're creating
Exactly.
you create stars with this match.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about later with the men's definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everyone looked good in this match. Everyone had their moment.
There was
It was
like,
well done.
Looking back at the match, there were some great spots.
Yeah.
And that's what the chamber really is. It unfortunately needs to be a bit of a spot fest based on the fact that the design
expect
of it is
it.
It
set
does,
up
but
like
it's
that.
how you weave it together.
Yeah,
It's how you
absolutely.
weave it together.
One of my favorite moments in that match was the kind of dive sunset powerbomb exit thing from Liv.
Yeah, Liv Morgan had the spot of the night
Yeah, like
for
that-
that match.
She's an incredible
Spotlight
worker.
for that match.
The spot of the match. Spot of the match.
Shout out to Liv also for wearing the Canadian tuxedo. I went back.
Yes.
And
Oh, really?
Denim, so that was very
denim.
cool. Gotta
Good touch.
respect that.
So this is it. She's got so much going for her.
Yeah.
And
No,
she comes out with new moves, tries new things. She's
Yes.
learning lucha style.
And then we
all these-
talk about the fact that she is mental and gets horny off pain and all that.
Right.
The way that she's eliminated from that match,
She liked it.
It worked.
it's getting
it works
knocked
for
out
her.
by a double submission.
She's like, oh yeah, another one.
Absolutely works
Yeah.
for her.
So fine.
It's
If
just
that's
the
what
booking
I-
has not been there, but
She's
it
not
can get
quite there yet, but
It
she's
can
also,
get
she's
there.
still really young too,
We're still,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Super
yeah.
young. But
So,
we're talking about, we're going into super nuance about the character,
Yes.
how it's,
Of course.
smiley, happy-go-lucky Liv that snaps into that. Where do you find the balance? And that's
I
what
think
she's
she's
finding.
close.
Yeah.
I think she needed to lose the title and be
Yes.
built back up, whether it's with this horny for pain character or just with something else. It's what we said when she was champion. She was getting booed.
Yeah.
Because how she lost to Ronda, or how she beat Ronda,
a fake-
where,
It made no sense.
it made no sense. It didn't do her any favors.
No, exactly.
And so we need the booking to be better. And I think give her some time, let her bide her time, and let her get into a fully realized character.
Yep.
But
Frank, you,
Frank's got a cork.
yeah, it's the
What
cork
was he
Frank.
doing?
Frank's corking it.
Make sure he doesn't swallow.
But yeah, I agree with you that everybody looked good. First of all, Natalia got tons of cheers, which was
deservedly so.
fantastic. Nikki,
still got it?
I thought Nikki looked good. I thought Raquel looked very strong, and it's clear they're trying to do a slow burn with her.
Yeah.
They
We
want her to
Talking
get
about
over.
Nikki for just a second.
Yeah.
I think we didn't give her enough credit
Yep.
for her performance on the Smackdown the
Smackdown.
night before.
That is
We
true
didn't get
because
to
we
see
didn't
it.
we didn't
we
really
didn't.
see
We
a
couldn't
lot
hear
of
it. We couldn't hear it.
We didn't
we
see
could
a lot
see
of
what
it.
she did live,
Yeah.
I think.
That's right.
And that was
All we see is her jumping in Wade Barrett's lap out of nowhere, and we're like, what the fuck's going on?
She's playing with the headphones on Michael Cole.
So
and she's,
funny.
Like
Yeah.
if her character is to just be a bit mental,
Yeah.
then fine.
That's
she,
it.
She's done well.
Yeah, perfect.
Because even when there's a match going on and
Yeah.
something else is happening around it, she's still in character doing that.
You need
if
those
she was
people
sitting
that-
in a chair watching, it'd be like,
and then like, wait for the camera to be on her, and they go,
and then do something. No,
Right.
she was
Yeah.
doing stuff
She's got it. Yeah.
consistently.
But she's in character. We know her character. We get the character. She plays everything she does is with that in mind.
Yeah.
Jumping
Yeah.
on the desk, being crazy, taking it too far is what you want to do. Because if you go too far, you can always rein it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not going far enough is kind of where you get a disconnect for some of us. So that's where
I don't
you
know
wanna
why
see
they
that
ever
change.
moved away from that with her. Like, I understand she wanted to try the superhero. You're right there.
Do both. Put it in a glass.
Yeah, why not pour it?
Just drink your strawberry beer like a man.
Does anyone have anything else to say about this match? I think most of us picked Asuka. Jason, you picked Raquel. I think that was a good pick too, honestly.
A fair shot.
But like we said with the character, if you could change something about the character going forward, what would you change about Raquel?
Less smiling, more fierce, angry, heel, beat everyone
Raquel
up.
as a heel on NXT was excellent,
Amazing.
Yeah.
and that's why I
The
was
thing that I think worked with Raquel in NXT though was her partnership with Dakota.
with Dakota Kai, who is around.
Like, yeah, but she's doing her own thing and cutting about.
But
with-
EO's so much better on her own. Bring
Yeah.
Dakota
Yeah,
in with
true,
Raquel
EO is better on her
and let
own,
EO
yeah.
go. Let EO fly.
Yeah, because Dakota made
Literally.
Raquel look good, but Raquel also made Dakota look good.
yeah, in
Because-
terms of the muscle. Yeah, absolutely.
Because right now damage control is less than the sum of their parts.
Yes.
Which is not how you should be.
Raquel doesn't need anybody. She's a beast.
She is.
But if you're a heel, you have
agree.
another little ratty heel with you.
Go back to the big mommy
Like
cool
a
gimmick.
manager.
Dakota was
Mommy
her
Cool.
Big
partner.
mommy
They
cool.
could tag
Handler.
That's
team,
right.
but
I
most
know
of
that
the time
we have
she's
Ray Ripley is
interfering
mommy,
and, you know,
but it is what it is.
using her to get
I mean, that's fine.
use Raquel because Raquel's going to rise. So you tag on to Raquel and help her cheat and everything, and then you turn on her like they did in NXT.
Either way,
I'm fine with that again.
Either way, take out
It
the
worked.
smiley. I agree. Take
out
out the
the
smiley.
Or less.
What are you smiling about?
Do you know the worst thing about her gimmick
What are you
at the minute, realistically? Even if she was smiling, I'd be like, I can kind of cope with that if she didn't have a tight in front of her like this.
Oh, get some
Just that-
footage in the title.
Raquel, and I mentioned this to you, I think it's incredibly offensive that the red and blue siren lights are going as she's coming in as somebody who's potentially of a foreign...
You know, it's like police
You know.
sirens. It looks like
It kind of looks like police sirens, like somebody's trying to get her caught. You know,
Right.
I'm not here for that.
Harkens back to the crime time and
Exactly.
the Eddie Guerrero.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
and she deserves better. Just give her
She
a good
does.
tight in front of her beating people up. So when I
Again.
look at it, I go,
And get her like a little man manager, a little guy.
That
Robert
Like,
Stone.
Robert Stone.
a little guy that she
Robert-
can toss
yes.
around.
Couple of
yeah.
big old stones.
I would have said Malcolm Bivens if he was still around, but Robert Stone's still there. Why not?
And you can like lift
He's so
the
good.
guy up and bring him to the ring.
Well, that's
Yeah.
he's a little manlet compared
Yeah.
to Raquel.
Get her a manlet.
He's, yeah.
I'm ready. WWE, I can be a manager. I'll I'll talk for her. I'll come out there and she can throw me around.
Absolutely.
150 pounds.
Absolutely.
She can
but
curl me.
again, Big Mommy Cool on NXT. I know, again, Rhea Ripley is
That's a
Mommy
sick
right
name
now.
too, though.
But,
That's
like,
true.
come on. She was the Diesel of the women's division.
Yep.
Like, she's that good. Bill her to be the badass. Why you keep putting Nia Jax and Tamina in that
Ain't
slot?
nobody
when you
Mina.
have
Nobody's
someone-
Mina.
Well, that's true. No one's Mina.
On to the next.
I guess
On
that's
to the
it.
next. All right.
Good match.
Yeah, good match. Honestly, I am excited for Asuka and Bianca. I think Asuka has the potential to bring out a little more character, but we will see. I think, again,
New Asuka, great.
New Asuka, great. Love it. Okay.
Love it.
This match was under 20 minutes, 19 and a half minutes.
battle around.
We had
The mist.
Bobby Lashley defeating
Is it 19 minutes?
Brock Lesnar. The women's chamber was 19 minutes. This match, and I think, Jordan, you and I said this match is not going to be longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it was shorter than 5 minutes.
Perfect.
It's 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Bobby Lashley defeating Brock Lesnar by DQ. A little shot to the penis.
A little shot to the penis.
Shot to
shot
his Brock
to the
penis. Jordan,
Yeah.
I remember, I think I was sitting, I was sitting next to you, or sitting next to someone. And we
Start just a random guy,
Chamber, you're beside
what do you think
Jason.
of this match?
I was beside Jason.
Yeah.
Either way, I think we all looked at each other and were like, that's it? So did this match kind of let you down, or do you think it made sense, storyline-wise?
I think if you build a match as something that's going to be the rubber match between these two guys, this is the third time,
Yep.
we need to either have something really decisive or something so ambiguous that nobody wins. But Bobby won.
Yep.
I don't care what happens to cause that or what happens after that. I don't think Brock looked like a pissed off little bitch.
Yeah.
I don't think he looked strong at all. Well, but unless you're the ref, he looked quite strong.
Ref has 1 HP. So,
yeah, but like, this could have been so much more, and I think my thoughts on how this finish is also based on what Bray said the night before.
Well, yeah, that's where I'm wondering.
And that's what really annoyed me, because I now don't have a definitive.
Yeah, is Bray
like-
going after Bobby because he won, technically?
Or is he going after Brock because
Or nobody.
Or nobody.
It's like, all right, screw it.
Not going after either of you.
Yeah, you both you got beat and you got low blood, so I don't care anymore. I'm going to go against Jake Paul. I don't know. Like
That'd be interesting.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Pauls
That's
in
it.
a moment.
Now,
But yeah, there was just nothing definitive about that match, and
Yeah.
that the actual spots that I mean, I don't know about you guys, but for me, seeing Brock Lesnar in the flesh, hearing
amazing.
that go, and I was just like,
both of them.
Even
this
Bobby,
is-
man.
Even
Yeah, even
Bobby.
Bobby,
Spectacle.
of course.
That's what we said going into this. No matter what, we get
spectacle.
Bobby versus Brock.
See
It's
that big
spectacle.
wild.
meat clapping.
Yeah.
Big meat clapping. This is definitely my worst match of the night.
Yeah, of course. It
like
wasn't
a
even
match.
really a match.
I think it could have been much better.
Of course.
I
yeah.
just don't think they
They
executed.
didn't want it to be the rubber match. It's all about WrestleMania.
It's So
And one thing that you've said that was different, kind of that we didn't get to experience. You've watched it back. Pacing on TV is very different than pacing
yes.
in real life. And explain what you experienced on that.
It just goes by real fast when you're live. Like it just everything
yeah.
just speeds by. You don't know what's on TV, what isn't,
Yeah.
what's a commercial, what isn't. Like they just keep it moving. They keep it tight. Keep people in the ring.
Screaming,
keep-
you're barking.
There's always like it just goes by really. I watched it back. I'm like some of the stuff is really drawn out and seems like it's taking forever. But
that same match on TV
That
could-
match, it was just cool to see them. Like I just want to see Brock. I want to see Bobby. Apparently the ref bumped. Obviously the first one was planned, but the second one when he F5'd him on the broken table,
Yeah.
was not as improvised.
Just
Apparently,
really?
the ref was like, "Whoa, what the?"
At least he went with it.
Yeah.
I guess you have no
Yeah,
choice,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
you
you're
can't
right.
have the ref kicking out of Brock Lesnar's F5.
But I am
Try to
getting-
resist it, then he'll just.
I'm getting tired.
Okay.
I'm getting tired of the Brock.
Temper tantrum.
Yeah, like the what do you call it? Like the way his matches go.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're gonna get 3 F5s, 10 spears, da da da. It's like,
But he
Suplex
was
City
always
works,
built as
yeah.
the guy who doesn't get paid by the hour. He's the guy who comes in, gets the job done, and leaves. And I like that.
but then you're like, why don't more people go right to their finishers?
Well, right.
that's
but,
the point,
but
actually.
I guess the point is only Brock can
Only
do it.
Brock
Yeah,
can
only-
do that.
and
Only
Bobby
Brock can
can
do
do
that.
Are you
Yeah,
telling
or
me
Bobby.
that there's not one opponent that deserves a slightly longer match? And I would say Bobby could be that. Like,
Maybe.
Bobby's supposed to be, I would say.
I mean,
I agree.
Brock's match against Roman at SummerSlam.
That was just like everything.
SummerSlam?
But that match, SummerSlam. That
Everything
match was longer,
destroyed.
but nothing actually happened. The first
It was a
4 minutes were
spectacle. It was like
lifting the ring.
meteors hitting the earth.
I
and-
remember. Yeah, meteors hitting the earth. Absolutely.
And then the ring's upside down.
And it felt like that. It did feel like
Yeah.
that. It could have been. It could have been better executed. I think all of us picked Brock except Jason. You picked
Bobby.
So
Bobby
Jason
who?
wins on a technicality.
Bobby who?
All right. We did have a mixed tag team match next. It was Edge and Beth
You all right?
Phoenix, the Grit couple.
The grit couple.
In the shower.
Frank's
In the shower. Well, it is what it is.
You know what it is.
We
We forgot we don't have our drops this week because we're live. Normally we just press the button.
So we're just gonna
Corbin's
drop them in.
penis.
disappoint.
There we go.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Powered by
we ha-
Riverside FM.
I'm steaming.
But
Is it recording?
Is it recording?
I'm Irish.
Is it recording?
Everything you do.
Is it recording? Well, speaking of Irish people, Finn Balor was in this match.
Bluer.
Segue.
With Rhea Ripley, with Dominic Mysterio at ringside, and it was Edge and Beth Phoenix getting the win. Brad,
Bedge.
storyline wise, A, did this go how you expected it to go? And B, is it time for the Judgment Day to finally separate a little bit from Edge?
To blast
and
off?
To blast off.
Like Team Rocket.
Team Rocket.
Exactly.
I think they're starting to finally get steam now, so I think you're right.
They are, yeah.
It's time to finally move them on because for a while the thing carrying them was Rhea,
Yes.
right? And she, because they
Mommy.
were so cold, she has risen up, which has brought Dom.
Dom is
Dom
probably
is-
the most over heel.
Unbelievable.
Right now.
The
I can't
chance.
believe I
Fudge
have
you,
so-
Dominic.
Exactly. I can't believe I have so many feelings towards him. Like
Instantly.
for so long, I was like,
nothing.
There's the first the little
I don't
Eddie
care.
Guerrero things where like boo, but now
He's
it's
actually in his element. He's
Yeah.
so good at getting
good
heat.
at being bad.
little Latino heat.
like
Yeah.
and I went to jail for the weekend and I thought there was a great chance for him not to be there in Montreal to like put that on like a Titan job. Like I couldn't be in Montreal, because I was in jail, so now I have a criminal record. I can't cross the border. Jason's barking.
Frulies.
These Frulies. That's a drop.
Jason's-
That's a drop.
These Frulies.
Save that drop.
Clip that.
These Frulies.
Strawberry beer has got in my gut.
Oh, it's so gassy.
So you're supposed to pour into a glass. Let the fucking air come out.
Sir, my Frulies.
My Frulies are so gassy. Oh, you stinking.
Don't touch my Frulies.
Wave them this way.
This is strawberries.
One of your 5 a day.
What were you saying?
I don't know. I don't
Dom.
know. Okay, Judgment Day going forward. Elected them. We're rebuilding the tag division and everything, building up. But Finn Balor's got to go. It's time for Finn Balor to move on. That's
because
Get outta here.
He's still the weird piece that's not
supposed to be the leader of the thing, but he doesn't fit. With
Yeah.
Damian Priest fits that mold. Rhea Ripley, Dom, those
Yeah.
three together.
Yeah.
I love it. Keep them as a trio. Move it forward. Finn Balor, you're on to bigger and better things, right? Why not put him as we need more either main event talent, he can do it. U.S. title, Intercontinental title, Finn Balor, put him in there. Keep it going. Trying to hold the podcast together.
Or, like we said, if AJ is hurt,
yeah. Put him with the Gallows and
Anderson
the
and
Andersons,
Gallows
yeah.
and Michin and
Gallows
whatever.
and the Andersons.
Have the club.
The Gallows
Finn
and
is the only
Andersons.
one who makes sense. If you want to do something with them,
Yeah.
Finn's the one who makes sense. Or Jay White again.
Yeah.
Jay White, shout out. But yeah, Finn doesn't fit. I've come around on Dom. I've come around on Damian Priest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who I wasn't super into. I think the Judgment Day needed to find their way a little bit, but now they have, and they're so good. They just need to break away from Edge.
But
at a
if
certain
they
point.
break
Oh,
from
yeah.
If they, the whole Edge thing, I think is done. Edge is won now, so that surely
Yeah.
is the end of that,
Time to-
right?
I hope so.
WrestleMania?
Nah, hell no.
Now it's Ray.
Another one?
Now it's Ray.
Yeah.
Ray is the next guy, I think. yeah.
If you have Damien, Dom, and Mami, is that enough as a
They
faction?
turn on Finn?
Yes, because
Yep.
all three of them are good on the mic. Dom a little less so, but he's getting
All he has to do is say hello and boom.
Yeah, no, that's all.
Eddie's
yeah.
mine.
Now, you're right. Now they are. Dom has finally reached that heat.
But
Rhea
was
is
good.
now going on a WrestleMania.
Yeah. And Priest is very good on the mic From what I find.
Because as a
gotten a lot
heel,
better, yeah.
it's okay if he's like boring and like slowing it down and being like, you know.
Yeah.
Money in the Bank chamber.
Yeah, I was
It
really
doesn't matter.
excited to see him.
I'm so angry I don't even know what event it is.
Yeah, that's great.
But Damian can be a mid-card, U.S. championship.
Yeah. Sure.
He was a great North American champion
Big
on
boy.
NXT.
I actually think it would
He
be
was
good-
the U.S. champ, wasn't he?
He was the U.S.
Yeah.
champ for a little bit. That's right.
Won it from
When he was the
Sheamus?
Archer of Boredom.
He's much better now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think he won it from Sheamus.
went
at
from Sheamus?
SummerSlam one year.
Sheamus.
He might have.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah.
But he bought a 32. my friend.
The whole of 32.
So yeah, that was honestly I thought the match did what it needed to do. It's nice to see Beth always. Like,
Yeah,
she's
obviously
the
was
greatest. She won the
jacked.
best. Yeah.
Fuck, she looked great. And
It's
Edge
funny,
in Canada, always going to get
I went
points.
back and watched.
As much as we can see
I
Edge.
went back and looked at some of the spots from that match and some of the commentary about it. And a lot of people were saying that Beth wasn't able to keep up.
Really?
And it didn't look like that
It
for
didn't.
me.
Yeah,
It-
maybe you see it on television.
maybe you see
differently.
something
Yeah.
differently, but when
Not
I
in
watched
person,
it,
didn't
looked
get that
like
at all.
she was doing incredibly well.
You
for
still got
somebody
it,
who does
100%.
best.
Let's keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was great.
Great.
I think just
bigger
you're
than
always
Edge.
going to get the Edge pop.
Yeah.
The fact that Edge is coming out with Beth just now against Mami, that again was another showcase of talent. It wasn't necessarily something that I care about in terms of story, but in terms of the components of that match, yeah, class. I got to see it all.
But all the shine, all the heat, all of the attention was Dom.
Yeah.
You know? He is, bound for stardom.
second loudest crowd
yeah.
was for Dom.
He was. Yeah. He reminds me of Vicky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where,
point.
where at a certain point she was the most over
Ironically,
heel.
his Mami.
Yeah. In kayfabe. No, but like, hey, if this is going to be your move, if you're going to be a heel, if you're going to be the smarmy, do it. And he's doing it. And I didn't think he had it in him.
And he is
honestly
one of the best smimey
I
heels.
don't know how
even
much
found
is
his-
him and how much is the writers or whatever.
I don't
but
care.
It's
I don't
working.
care, quite
It's
frankly.
working.
There is
It's
something
working.
about he's fully bought in now. You know,
Yeah.
he is owning that character. He's doing the Eddie
Growing his
Guerrero's
mullet.
ugly on purpose. Because I'm sure he could do them sick if he wanted to. The way he moves, the way he talks. Obviously,
Sorry, Frank.
one of the greatest wrestling families of all time. So he knows what's up.
Frank, what did you think about that particular match with Dom?
Oh, great. A little microphone action.
Jeez,
My microphone explodes.
Yeah, go and scratch
Do
up.
you need to pick that up? What we're going to do is we are going to talk about the next match. And I think it's over, eh? No, we got it. All right. What we're gonna do is talk about the next match. And for me, this was my match of the night, just because of how good it was. And as you said, Jordan, the Elimination Chamber has to be a bit of a spot fest. But this one was a spot fest in the best possible way, and it was the men's Elimination Chamber. It was Austin Theory retaining his United States Championship against Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, Montez Ford, and Seth freaking Rollins. And I thought this was a fantastic match. A match that I immediately said after it ended, I want to go back and see how it looked on television. Because I think it'd look even better with the right camera angles. And it looked so good in the arena anyway.
Yeah.
And it was, again, another one of those matches where it served everybody. I know, shout out to Lewis, shout out to the Vegan Dandy.
Yeah.
He
Vegan
said
View.
that Austin Theory did not come out looking good. I don't agree. I think he did come out looking good. I think Bronson came out looking like an absolute monster. Right?
Great
He
showcase
got-
for Bronson,
He
absolutely.
ate 75 super kicks
Yeah.
and 6 finishers. Priest,
You have something to say about that on how Bronson Reed looked and how Raquel looked.
No, whenever
Yeah,
they,
same.
whenever they have a big presence or a big monster type character in a elimination chamber match, they always have to have like 4 finishers done to them to dispose of
A few
them.
people
It's
combined.
the exact same formula for both of them.
It looked like the same
Yeah.
formula for both.
It was. It was. But I didn't mind that. I didn't mind that for Bronson because he was looking like an absolute beast. And at a certain point, I was thinking, oh, wow, who's going to eliminate him? He's killing everything. First of all, he's no-selling, which obviously was in the notes, in the match plans. He's no-selling everything because he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Oh, big boy.
He's a big boy.
Big boy.
And I was also really stunned over, I expected them to make Montez look good. And Jason, I want to let you go on that in a second.
It's harder to make him look bad.
There you go. He's going now. That's okay. Go.
You can't make Montez look bad. He deserves everything he's getting right now. I've been saying it for a long time.
Yep.
He needs to be the WWE Undisputed Champion at some point. Maybe you don't want to rush it, I guess.
Yeah.
But he can do it all, and the more he's highlighted, the more people see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was the MVP of the match. I said he was going to be the MVP of the match.
He was.
And he's just incredible. Like, there's nothing he can't do. His charisma is through the roof. His athletic ability is incredible. He could do anything.
Do you really care that much about Montez?
I think he's.
I'm not saying you don't.
The fact that he's in this tag team, it's like hard to see, but I love the tag team. Both of them are great, but Montez is the Shawn Michaels. Montez is who's another tag team?
Brett.
Edge. Even though Christian's sick, it's still Edge is Edge, or the Jeff Hardy. Even though Matt's good, the Jeff Hardy. I don't know. I just see. I want to see more of him because he's so good.
He's very compelling and
effortless.
And
his charisma is effortless.
And you're talking about spots.
His spots are
good, but the spots make sense because it's not.
He makes them look
just
like easy, and they're not.
No.
And he does this crazy spot, gets up, does another one, jumping back and forth, and at the end of the chamber, like everyone thought he was injured. I don't know if that was real or.
I think it was
so
to get.
well done.
Some people are still thinking it was.
I think it was to get Logan Paul in.
Crazy.
And we do have
makes
to
more
talk
sense.
about Logan Paul, of course, because it's one of those things where you have a feeling he might show up, but at the same time, well, it's a different country. Where's immigration?
I was shocked. I forgot all
I
about
actually
Logan
didn't realize
Paul.
who it was at first. I was like, this is blonde freak running in.
Yeah.
Well, you were sitting there
And
with your prime drink that you just bought,
That's it.
so you were sitting there going, "Oh, Logan,
Mark, I love Prime.
sucking down
Who's
my
there?
Prime."
But he hit this picture perfect, freaking springboard lariat.
He's actually better than Hangman Adam Page.
I think he does it better than anybody. It's insane.
I think he's more athletic than
He's
him.
just an absolute natural.
Yeah.
He's a
It's
natural.
wild.
He knows, and it's not just like he can do the flips or the athletic stuff. He knows how to sell. He knows how to make it look real. He knows how to talk. And I feel weird complimenting him this much, but it just is what it is.
It's
It is what
annoying
it is.
because I hate him.
Yeah, I don't
But
like
that's good.
But
You're supposed to,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I get that, but I also hate him.
as a person.
He's gotten better as a person,
fundamentally,
though.
from
I
his
hate that he's
core.
so good at it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It'd be easier if he was just
I
a
don't wanna
freaking
like
jobber.
him. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But you don't
feel
have
like
but
he's
you,
good.
Yeah.
But he's good.
Can't
at it.
deny it.
Every
You can't
time,
deny it.
every
I
match
can't
he's
deny
in,
it.
he elevates it. It's not even just like someone's carrying him. He. Is,
I want to see him wrestle. Any match,
I
will
want to
watch.
see him wrestle, and he will. Clearly, it's him and Seth.
Yeah.
at
That's
WrestleMania,
going to be so good.
Which is going to be very good. And speaking of Seth, also look good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
And you know who I also I didn't expect this guy to look so good, but Johnny.
Yeah.
I thought
Johnny
Johnny
Boy.
Wrestling looked fantastic. They made him out to be, he obviously was the little guy. He looked excellent, and I disagree with you, Lewis. Sorry. Austin Theory did what he needed to do in that match.
Yep.
I know I said I wanted him to win strong, and the fact that even after Logan crushed Seth, he still hit the A-Town down. If he had just kind of crawled over him and got the pin, and also the fact that he was able to lift Bronson with no
wild.
momentum.
It looked
either.
like nothing.
It wasn't
Yeah.
even Bronson jumping
Doesn't
on him
make
and he
sense.
got up. He picked him up.
Yeah.
I've done a bit of a 180 with
Theory?
Theory. Thank you. I didn't like him for the longest time because he was, and you guys kept saying, "Oh, he's going to be the future. He's going to be the next big guy." I just couldn't. And
There was
I
the
couldn't get on that-
fabricated
that
push that he was
bandwagon.
getting.
Yeah.
Yes,
Get the golden egg.
and that
all
left
that
a
stuff.
sour
It
taste.
felt-
A
it
lot of
felt
people were.
I don't think he's that good. Do you know when that picture turned for me? Genuinely, it's when I saw him against somebody else who I think is up there. And we spoke about this weekend, actually. I can't remember when, but we spoke about the flex off with Bobby.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
When I saw that happen, I thought, he's bigger than I thought.
He's big.
And he looks like £1 million.
And he
I'm gonna say
moves.
pounds, not bucks, because
He
that's
moves.
actually worth more.
So $2 million.
Scottish pounds.
$2 million bucks.
$2
you
million
know?
bucks.
But I remember seeing that and thinking, wow, he looks amazing. Actually, maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was like a wee weedy guy. But now I look at him and think, yeah, all right, okay. And now that I've started to see him in other stuff, does he get away with a lot in terms of he doesn't necessarily win clean? Yes.
Sure.
But I think he always has a good performance in everything that he does.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I enjoy. If you look at somebody and I'm going to say this name, if you look at Roman and some of his wins,
Yeah.
Roman sometimes does nothing to deserve that win and still gets it because it's everyone else around him that's done it. That really, truly chicken shit heel.
Yeah.
Whereas even Austin still adds, and maybe you've kind of touched on this, he adds that little bit of flair at the end. I could just cover him, but no, I'm going to do A-Town down,
it's still
get that
his
hit.
win.
I'm going to get that win.
He was also a selfie guy before. That's a hard gimmick to get over.
Yeah.
But like Triple H said in the press conference, he shouted out each person individually in this match, except for Montez.
He forgot. He did add
Corrected
it later
it
on Twitter.
in the tweet that said Montez is a star.
Imagine forgetting that.
He deserves his own tweet anyway.
But he gave him his own
it's a
tweet.
separate tweet.
You know what?
And it's Triple H
Having-
saying
yeah.
Montez is a star. Not
Yeah.
Montez is great. Montez is going to be... Montez is a star.
He's already there.
He knows it. That means that Triple H has in his pocket.
Yeah.
You're staying here forever.
At the same time.
And one day...
Yeah,
gonna be
having
time.
had to list a bunch of people that we wanted to shout out, it's very easy to have all the names in your head, and then as soon as you do
Of
it,
course. No, I'm not saying it to
Gone
like
out.
on Triple H or whatever.
But-
He was going through the press conference.
Exactly.
And one of the ones that he wanted to mention didn't, but he corrected it right
but
away.
the fact that he felt the need to correct it.
I am going to put out a
Yes.
tweet that says
Yes.
Montez is a star. He's getting his own fucking shine because on the thing he listed everybody and said, he was so impressed with
Yeah.
the new talent. And this is guys that he kind of brought in through NXT and a lot of the stuff. So
These are a lot, like not all of them, but a lot of these guys in that particular match are guys who have come up through his NXT regime or
Right.
have been brought back since being released.
brought back,
right?
yeah.
Right.
And that's massive because
Yeah.
it's basically we're going to put all of those guys into one match, and I'm going to show you why they're still here.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or
it's
why
also
they've been,
and
why
he's saying to
they've been
them,
brought back.
I'm putting you in this. My ass is on the line.
Yeah.
I am taking over creative, and this is Triple H's shot.
It's a different type of match. Like if we look at the first Elimination Chamber, or just the earlier ones, they were far more brutal.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Of
think-
course they were. The design of the chamber was such a way that it made everything look.
Yeah, we say
and
that on the
feel
pod a
little
lot,
bit
right?
more
The
brutal.
chamber now is made for spots.
And,
Yes.
Whereas before, it
that's
was-
fine though. I don't have a problem
yeah,
with that
okay.
because it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
I need to accept
It is what it
the
is.
direction that they've gone in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while I would prefer it to be like what it was, I think this is the first time I've watched an Elimination Chamber match and felt like it fitted the cage and the structure it was
Good
in.
point.
Whereas what they were doing before was they were trying to do the newer style wrestling in the older chamber, and I was annoyed that things didn't go the way that it used to.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I'm saying, well, actually, that's the style of match that fits this structure.
Maybe it's appropriate.
And that was class. I loved that. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, shout out to all of them. They've been brought back or they've been brought up for a reason. I'm so impressed.
Real quick question before we move on to the main event of the main event. Dom, I think, is the most over heel right now. Is Austin Theory the second? Because he was getting lots of boos. Besides Roman, because this is a special.
it's like-
This is a
it's a
special
different event.
situation.
It's a different event.
Very, very different.
Rhea?
No, I
There's some love for Rhea.
There's a lot of love for Rhea
I think
by
it has-
certain people.
Yeah, just asking.
I would
He's
say
a very
he
fair
probably
point.
is.
Are you one of those certain people?
I am.
Yes.
Yes. Austin Theory for sure. He's a heat magnet, no doubt.
Yeah. He does have a punchable face.
Yeah.
But in a good way. And
good
honestly, I think we are going to see him on our televisions, knock on wood, for a very long time. He's still very young, and he's already so good. Like, he is a blue chip prospect.
Yeah.
If the rumor is true and him and Cena at WrestleMania,
Yeah.
I hope he
so
wins.
That was going to be my
Yeah,
question.
good
Like,
point.
if realistically he has retained, and it looks like everything else is kind of done with
Yeah.
now, what happens for him? At
He
Mania?
beats Cena at
You
Mania.
think it is going to be Cena?
Yes, and I think he wins.
Wow,
Or he should
that's
win.
a bold statement.
He
He's-
should win.
He's built like Cena, but could like move like Rey Mysterio.
It's
Yeah,
insane. I still love. I know it doesn't. It's not the most. Like it doesn't make the most sense sometimes, but I love when he dives through the
And then
ropes
he goes,
and then
"Bing!"
and somehow he elevates all the way up and does a
Springs
drop
out.
kick.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
I've never seen anyone do
spring.
that, and he's so athletic. He's
Yeah,
so
he is,
strong,
he is.
and it's
Yeah.
and he's gotten so much better on the mic. Like
Yep.
I'm a full believer in Austin.
See, that's where
Theory.
he's not on John Cena level. Like, even John early was... Something about his promos were so funny and so good, even
Yeah.
when he was the rapper guy gimmick
Yeah.
going against the other guys. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying Austin can't get there.
He can.
But that's the difference right now is the level of promo that John Cena can do.
So
But
yeah,
that's
I hope
20
he's a
years
John
of
Cena,
practice.
not
Of course.
not,
That's
not
the
a
only
Lex
thing
Luger.
missing. But
Yeah.
that's incredible that you're that close to John Cena.
I do think Austin has a natural ability to speak. Like, he doesn't
Yes.
sound forced.
Nope.
If you just let him go, he has the cadence and the delivery that sounds like he's really saying it. It doesn't sound like he's getting up there like reading like.
The confidence is there.
The confidence. It sounds like he's really out there saying, "I am better than all of you. Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me."
And now that I look at him, I go,
Yeah, all right, you are better than me. Thank you.
Him, Dom, Montez, like
there's
Gargano.
so much there.
Yeah.
So much.
All right. We do have to talk about it, so we will move on to it. The main event of the evening, Roman Reigns defeats Sami Zayn. Acknowledge him. Acknowledge him. Brad, do you want to talk about this? Do you actually?
I'm gonna do a little thing and then you guys go. Okay, so
yeah, go ahead.
I've been a Sami Zayn fan for a long time. Been watching him as El Generico for many years, small shows downtown Montreal, and there was a connection there because of the talent that I was able to see at a small indie show, the promos, everything. I was like, this guy's so good, and you could see he's a cut above. And not only that, he was a redhead. So for me, that was like one of those connection pieces, right?
Yeah, fair.
So that's what kind of got me into it. The indies, redhead, extreme talent, and then right after I'd seen him maybe 3 shows, he's going to NXT. So I've been watching this journey for since then, and there's lots of other people out there who've seen him for even longer and all of that.
Yeah.
But for me, to see him go through that, I haven't been a huge mark of a particular wrestler in a long time. When I was a kid, my favorite wrestler was Bret Hart. I was obsessed with Bret Hart. He was my favorite wrestler. Since then, I never had like a guy. Like I was a fan of Kurt Angle, I was a fan of Ken Shamrock, I was a fan of these guys, but not to the point where I want their merch, I need their action figure. When I'm playing the video game, I want to play as these guys. And so for me going into this, it meant so much to see that you can go from this indie guy, all of this, and then over the years too, obviously I became a fan of Kevin Owens, but it wasn't to the same level.
Yeah.
I hadn't had that same connection with Kevin that I had with Sami, and meeting Sami obviously affects that when he was El Generico and taking pictures with him and stuff. You're obviously going to have that stronger connection. So I never even thought this was possible. Through all these years, doing the video games and collecting cards and stuff, I was always a Sami Zayn collector. And you go into an app or you go into the groups, no one else was a Sami Zayn collector. I've traded very expensive Alexa Bliss cards and Liv Morgan cards to get a haul of Sami. You know, like this is like an early on Alexa Bliss auto. I'm like, I can get 50 Sami cards for this, you know? Like, that's what I want. I wasn't seeing the monetary value. I just wanted Sami cards. Of course. So this is what I've been doing. I've been a big fan, collecting all this, and now there's a chance that he could win the heavyweight championship off of Roman Reigns, a guy that I have been obsessed
in Montreal.
Here. Oh, Montreal, tabarnak. And Jordan, a guy that I lived in Scotland with, that we became best friends over there, flies out, becomes a part of the Jobbers with my 2 biggest wrestling fan buddies. And we all go together to this show. Ariel Hawani's video. And there's a chance that Sami Zayn could win this, and it makes so much sense storyline-wise. There may never be another opportunity for Sami Zayn to win the World Championship, and if there is, it'll never be like that. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I get it. That's how wrestling works. It doesn't always end the way that you want it to. But my biggest problem, my biggest gripe with all of this is not the fact that Sami Zayn lost. And we talked about this on podcasts leading up to it. I'm okay. Well, I'm not okay with it. But I would accept it better if Sami Zayn lost in different fashion. If it was built up differently. If it took the entire bloodline to come out and one by one have to fucking destroy Sami Zayn because he has the entire city behind him, all the country of Canada, but Montreal is there. The crowd is one of the greatest crowds in wrestling history.
Absolutely.
And to have him lose in the fashion that he did felt so disrespectful to him and to me. And that's not the truth of it all, right? But I'm a mark. So that's how I took it. I took it personally.
For sure.
And it's not meant to be taken that way, but I took it personally for Sami also. Because I thought this was it. It was all set up. It was perfect, and I get it. You're ending one of the biggest streaks ever. It's Roman Reigns, and he has to go on to WrestleMania and fight Cody Rhodes, and whatever happens there happens. But for me, I will always remember this as one of the greatest weekends of my life with a very sour ending, and not because he lost, but because of how it went.
Yeah, fair.
And that's my take on it.
Boys get sad too.
I was so depressed afterwards. I gotta say this as well, because we went to Brutopia after, and we needed to drown ourselves in some pints. I was already steaming, but at this point I needed all of the
Shout out
liquor.
to Brutopia's Czech Pilsners. They incapacitated
Kick
many
your
a
ass.
jobber.
Yeah.
Incapacitated many a jobber.
Ass.
So we wanted some green Phantom Ale, but we got the Czech Pilsner and all of that, and so I'm drowning myself in pints. And I was so depressed after this event. I was so down, like sadness, actual. And through the night, we're having fun with all these people. You're trying to get over it, and then
Wonderful people.
I go to leave because I'm steaming, and it's time to go. We're getting towards 3 a.m., and my jacket's gone. I go to where I hung my jacket, and it's not there.
Uses the pod to air this.
It's
grievance.
fucking gone. Because it adds on to the story
It
of how
does,
depressed I am.
it does. It
right?
just- it
because
just
I'm
was
so
a-
sad, and now my jacket's gone. My
It was
wallet
a-
is in my
yeah.
jacket. Everything's gone.
It was a little diarrhea dressing on a shit night.
They couldn't find it. Everything, and then you're trying to find your jacket at the end of a bar night. Everyone's fucking steaming. There's people in your way, and now you're sobering up quick. And I have to leave in Montreal winter with no jacket because there was a jacket left there, but we can't let you leave with that jacket. I know it's not yours, but you can't leave with their jacket now. So I have to leave with no jacket. Figure it out through the streets of Montreal to try to get home. Did. And so the next day, waking up that hungover, remembering what just happened, and now having to call banks with no voice. I'm like, it was stolen. and my head is hurting.
Sound
I'm
like
sad as fuck.
Johnny Laurinaitis.
I was fucking
Johnny
full Johnny.
Laryngitis.
Fuck.
My jacket's stolen!
All that to say, I got the jacket back, believe it or not. The person who took the jacket took it by mistake, brought it back to the bar, returned
Shout out
it.
to you.
All is well and good.
If you listen to this
you're
pod, well
listening-
done.
You're a good cunt.
Oh,
Hey.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we?
So
Yeah, no, yeah.
all I have to say, I just want to say this. I want to say thank you, Sammy, for bringing me on this ride, bringing me on this journey. It's all thanks to you and everything that you've given. You give your body, your soul, your time, your mind. You said on the podcast with Tony Marinaro from Montreal, shout out, that through all these years, like a lot of wrestlers, it's your job, right? You come in, you learn your lines, you do your thing, you come out, you pump it out. But he says now, he's on that level, and he got so engrossed with it that he's at home, and he's sitting on the couch. All he can think about is, what am I going to say? How do I say it? What's going to happen? So he's texting other guys, texting other wrestlers, texting the writing team, in constant contact all day, every day, to say, how do we do this?
Yeah.
Bouncing off ideas. So your dedication is why I got to go on this journey in the first place. As sad as I am, that has nothing to do with you. You're the GOAT. I love you. Thank you. Kevin Owens, you're a fucking idiot. No, I'm just kidding. Coming out late. No, I love you, Kevin.
it is.
Go,
So,
boys.
so
I'm done.
let me tag on to this.
Thanks for the monologue.
Yeah, well done. Well done. It needed to be aired. It needed to be done.
Yep.
Brad was shoot angry. Brad was
Oh,
shooting
yeah.
last night.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like you said,
2
go
nights
check
ago.
out at the Four Jobbers.
Yes, you'll see the full.
You'll see all of it.
I haven't watched it back.
Full
'cause,
emotional.
I'll
You'll
be
see
embarrassed, but
a beautiful bromance hug as well.
I'll put it behind.
I don't think I've ever seen him that angry.
yeah.
Actually,
that
I don't think
big
I've
sad
ever seen him
picture.
that angry.
it takes a lot to get me to that. I got a long fuse.
Yeah, yeah.
Brad was just barking at random strangers on the street. Ah, fucking Roman, fucking WWE, fuck you. fuck
People
you.
they're like, oh, all that, but then Kevin Owens, I'm like, fuck Kevin Owens, and people are clapping for Kevin Owens. I'm fucking booing. Boo, you idiot. You came out way too far.
Where were you 3 minutes ago?
I think the thing for me about it all is,
DDP Hogan.
and again, I love Sammy because of his work in predominantly NXT and WWE as well. I didn't see him in the Indies like you perhaps did.
But on NXT, he's goated.
But I saw him grow through this story, and he's been on that train for what 9-10 months now.
Oh, I guess it's been that long. Yeah.
And now that I see how it ends, he was treated no differently to somebody who steps up to Roman 1 month ago. And
Yes,
that's
it-
what frustrates me, is the finish. The finish didn't warrant anything special. It was
Yep.
the same kind of thing that's happened to every other opponent.
Yep.
And do you know what? Let's say it was Jay took him out, Jimmy took him out. Let's say Heyman
Solo.
kicked him in the balls. Solo came out and gave him a straight to the throat. Like, if all of that had happened and then he got beat, I'd be like, do you know what? Sammy looked like badass against Roman freaking Reigns.
The entire bloodline.
That's Seth's thing. But I would like to have seen him actually be defeated.
Exactly.
Because he came out the night before and said, "Now you're going to have to beat me and the entire city." of
Crying,
Montreal.
the fucking passion.
You need to beat all of us.
Yep.
And I genuinely, how many times have we seen, I was looking back and there was a list of all the people that Roman's beat for the title. We had 4 KO matches, or I think maybe 3 KO matches and 4 Daniel Bryan matches, right?
Yeah.
It felt no different to one of them.
And that's why.
And that's such a shame because we've spoken about this.
Yeah.
They had lightning in a bottle with this this
Absolutely.
dynamic.
Absolutely.
Again, I don't think any of us will disagree that wasn't necessarily unexpected that Roman would retain.
In my heart of hearts.
Of course,
Yeah.
we all believed. We believed at times. But it's just the way it went down was so bad.
And that's why I had to disagree with you when you were saying it was, because I mean, you were steaming, of course. It was on the level of Drew losing. And I say it wasn't.
Because
Drew was exactly. So I don't hold that
I was just
against
upset.
It wasn't even in Drew's
Want us to feel
hometown.
better.
No, it wasn't.
But Drew was one of the
home
people
country.
who it was
Wasn't even
clear.
same country.
Clash of the Castle coming up. We need a somewhat local guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know,
But I think that
in
was-
hindsight, I'm sure Montreal was because they knew at a certain point this is the match that was coming. But it
I
felt
think purely
organic.
from a marketing point of
Yeah.
view, it was pushed on TV as the same weighting.
It felt that way after.
I think
the
in
fact,
terms of
for sure.
the people involved and being here with you
Yeah.
Montrealers,
Yeah.
it was a very different feeling. But if I watch both of those on TV, the build-up for Drew going into that match and the build-up for Sami going into that match, they were built exactly the same way and pretty much finished exactly the same way.
And that's why your opinion is very valuable, because of course we're closer
Wrong.
to it's wrong.
It's valid.
But,
No, just kidding. I'm completely kidding.
but we are of course
just upset.
emotionally, geographically, we're closer to it. And so of course we're going to look at it as
If it was in Glasgow,
That would have been different.
come on.
yeah.
Well, Ayr, sure.
Jason, you haven't
Yeah,
done
yeah.
your
Yeah.
tell us how you feel.
What do you think, Jason?
Well, like you said, I think it started in April 2022.
My birthday.
And Sami Zayn was a regular on the show, but he was considered kayfabe a joke.
Yeah.
It was just
Obviously-
lost to Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, obviously, which was
Power Slam by
Which was a
He-Man.
fun match,
Fun
of
match.
course. Yeah.
he's
Greatest
obviously
gimmick match ever.
He's incredible in every aspect of wrestling. Like there's nothing Sami can't do. He's just an all timer for anything you want to do.
Yeah.
But on the show he was a joke, and then he steps into the tribal chief's office and it's like, I can help you. It's a joke. I didn't even really care to see him that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
In his placement, he was getting annoying. And to see like where he brought it just by being so good, like maybe they didn't even expect him to get to this point, but he's just so good that it was undeniable that they had to bring him to this point. I am generally a pretty pessimistic wrestling fan in the sense of I know it's a business and a lot of this emotional.
It doesn't come from nowhere. You've been conditioned this way
No,
over the
it's
years.
just like
Yeah.
because I know how WWE works.
Yeah.
They work you up, they jack you off, and then they leave you with blue balls most of the time.
Yeah.
But in this case, I didn't care. I'm gonna get wrapped up in it. I'm gonna get emotional. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna go for Sami head first into it. Even though I knew he wasn't gonna win, I didn't let myself feel that way. I just went full force. Obviously, when it ended, I'm like, I knew it. Obviously.
Yeah,
they were
well,
gonna
yeah,
do it.
it's
I'm
completely-
fully out of the spell now. I know you're, like you said, you're a big fan of his. Now I'm just like an average fan of his. Like, you know, and I don't necessarily think you need to be a fan of someone just because they're Canadian. Like, I'm not a huge Bret Hart fan. I think he's incredible, but I was a Shawn guy.
You've constantly said that he's arguably the best worker of all time.
He made everyone better. Of
course.
But I cheered for Shawn.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm Canadian. I like Shawn.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's fair.
But in this instance, I got wrapped up in the Montreal. I got wrapped up in the history. What?
Nothing.
I got wrapped up in all of it. I was part of it. I wanted to be part of it. I wanted to be like, you know, not the jerk heel on the show or whatever. I wanted to be part of it. And look what happened. That's what happens. No.
This is why he's a jerk
No,
heel
but,
contrarian, because this is what you do to us.
But what I told myself is it didn't make sense for Sami to win from a WrestleMania perspective.
Yeah.
It really didn't.
Absolutely.
Made no sense at
get
all.
that.
But in my mind, I'm like, this is such a special moment that you can't manufacture. It was just like you said, lightning in a bottle. It already is an all-time moment, even with the loss. Like the reactions and the promos and the crowd.
But now it's like the lead up is more special than the match.
The SmackDown before Elimination Chamber,
Like you said.
Chamber.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more. Like I said, that was my favorite moment.
Yeah, the SmackDown is genuinely going to be remembered as one of the greatest wrestling moments. The Elimination Chamber will genuinely always be remembered as a fucking letdown.
A letdown.
It was just poor.
That's how it'll be remembered forever.
Well,
And again, maybe that's just our point of view. Maybe there are other people.
but
that,
online,
that
it
think
seems to be
differently.
similar. It seems to be a similar, other than fucking Mark's.
I personally don't think he looked bad in the match.
No,
I know
he
you
didn't.
guys
No.
think he looked
But
bad.
he does not look main
I
event
don't-
picture.
I don't
necessarily.
think he looked
beat up
bad at
Roman
all.
pretty. Like I went back and watched it. He got his shit in. You know?
In Montreal,
He got
yeah.
his shit in. No,
Will
no,
he get his shit in?
I don't think he looked bad.
Orlando?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but ultimately, it hurts. I'm over it now because like I know you're more invested in Sami.
I'm never gonna watch again.
But
This is our last episode.
This is the final episode. Of the
this is what I
Brad
thought.
is out.
Thanks for
three
watching.
idiots.
Yeah.
This is what I thought because they've been equating it to CM Punk and Cena when CM Punk was leaving, and most people thought there's no chance he's going to win, but they made him win because it made sense, and it was an all-time lightning in a bottle moment.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Oh, Cena versus RVD in the ECW
And the
arena.
Hammerstein
yeah.
Ballroom.
These are special
It's
moments
like
that
they could have, they could have still done it, right?
yeah. You
What,
can't.
what would Sami winning in Montreal to take those titles, even if it was a bad win for him, and by that I mean interference and all
Anything.
that,
Kevin Owens
would it
cut
have
out.
detracted at all?
No.
I mean, honest feeling,
No.
would it have detracted at all from Roman Reigns? And what
it would.
he's done for the company?
It would.
You think it would?
Because that's the problem, right? With the Cena moment and CM Punk moment, they weren't going against a long 2-3 year streak.
A
That's the
historic
elephant
streak.
in the room.
Of
The
course.
streak is
I
the
get
elephant
that.
in the room.
Otherwise, they probably would have done it. They
But
would have pulled the trigger.
I'll shout out Sean Campbell because this was his idea. The biggest pop of all time, or one of them, is Mankind.
And
winning
Triple
the
H just
title.
compared him.
And what blew that up? Well, when Stone Cold came out, beat the shit out of everyone, and pulled Mankind's arm over. I think that's the way you do it. Have Sami win and make Roman not look
How
bad.
did KO win his first title?
He literally handed it to
He
him.
literally
Triple
handed it
H,
to him.
yeah.
Do we care?
No.
In the moment, it's kinda like,
But once again,
That's how they do it, but then you're like, oh. And no one talks about that as a moment that detracts away from
No,
Kevin
no, it's
Owens'
true. It's true.
championship.
the Mankind moment. We remember Mankind being hoisted up and winning. We don't know. We don't care how it happened or what happened right after.
True.
They
Yeah.
took it right back.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
it didn't matter.
The problem is they couldn't do that in the situation because of the streak.
Because of the streak.
Because even if you like give it to Sami and schmoz it later,
But
you
I
ruin
think-
the streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the streak will always be ruined.
Yeah.
The streak is never going
But it needs to be ruined at WrestleMania the way they planned
The
it.
streak is never going to get to a point where it's going to beat someone else's streak, if that makes sense. Like he's not going to be on the level of Bruno Sammartino.
But it's he's the modern day Maharaja. No, the modern day, the modern day streak.
Yeah, I get that.
It is the modern day streak.
It's like in
And
a
I-
different class. Like we know all that. Just like Will Chamberlain scored 100 points, Kobe scored 81. Like Will Chamberlain was so long ago. It's almost like Kobe's record was the best. And it's just like Roman's reign is considered maybe the greatest, even if it isn't the longest. Like because that's like a whole nother era.
Yeah, like you can't do another San Martino reign in this
No, that was
era,
like
so of
was it like
course.
5 years or something?
It's
Like
10
10
years.
years.
10.
Like,
Exactly.
you can't
It's
do that
almost-
now.
No, it's a completely different playing field.
It is. And I know we're getting a bit long in the tooth on this recording, but it's so great to be live.
It
It's
is.
just the conversation.
Yeah, I could chop it down.
I
or
want to
whatever.
touch you all. It's great.
Let's all touch each other after. Or now.
Brad went to cry in the bathroom.
Brad went to cry in the bathroom.
He did say he was
couldn't
gonna
handle. He
leave.
did say he was
Oh, you're
stepping out.
joking.
Let's say Cody.
I was leaving the podcast. That's enough.
Let's say Cody. I mean, obviously it's Cody Roman at WrestleMania.
I'm going for Roman. I'm back on.
Does
the
Cody's win?
acknowledgement
Is
train.
Cody's potential win kind of,
tainted?
I guess, tainted? Not tainted, but dulled for you a little
I
bit.
don't
For me, yeah.
care about.
I think
I don't
it
want
is.
him to win anymore.
I think it's
don't care
dulled.
anymore.
I love Cody, but it's
not his fault,
His
yeah.
story, finish your story, never had to do
very
with
fabricated.
ending Roman's
Exactly.
streak. It was just winning the title.
Yeah.
So whether it was
Exactly.
Roman winning it back for a month, whether it was Sami,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter that Cody's the one to end
So-
the streak potentially.
I'd rather he just keeps it now.
Yeah.
So they have 6 weeks to
cares?
manufacture something.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be another person just stepping up.
Yeah.
Look, I'm
Which-
here. I'm the next guy.
But it's Cody coming back. As nice as that moment was last WrestleMania,
Yeah.
everything that's happened has just been handed to him. Now, yes, he had an injury, so I understand that was an aspect of it.
And the Hell in a Cell match was incredible.
It was
we
one of
didn't
the-
know that was all like
One of the best things I've ever seen in
Yeah.
my life. But, or one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Cody's come back and been told, right, we're going to put you immediately into a package with somebody who's already an absolute Hall of Fame certainty.
Yeah.
Oh, you're injured, no problem. The minute you come back, you're going to win the Rumble and then probably go to WrestleMania main event and win the title. Why should I care about that?
Well, that's why they had him fluff up Sammy. They wanted him to be like, yo, I'm friends with Sammy, so you like Sammy, you like me. Right?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Cody, I don't care.
But he might make you care, though. I won't put it past him.
We've
'cause
got
he's that
another,
good.
we've got another month and a half.
He's
or
that
so.
good.
Yeah.
We'll see. But my main point was, I understand it didn't make any sense, but I felt it was such a special moment that they would pull the trigger on it, and it would be an all-time, one of the best moments of all time.
Yeah.
Sammy winning. And I think, obviously we have a bias being from Montreal, but even you and people and Americans and
The
whoever,
fans were all behind Sammy,
they were
for
sucked
sure.
into it too, like honorary Habs. We're all
We've
honorary
all
Habs.
got the shirt.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't.
No.
You're sitting there with your jobber shirt.
You had a chance to buy it, but you buy that instead. You know, it is what it is. But
I like what I like, and I like Sammy.
of course, he even won. He won everybody over with this whole storyline, this whole thing, of course. And that's what I was trying to say earlier: is that it's a great showcase for him, and I'm so proud.
Is there any chance
But-
he makes it to WrestleMania involved in the main title? Is there any chance?
I think it's more likely now that he goes and tags with Kevin or something. You know, and
That's
even
what everyone's
then,
saying.
Everyone
Then
says
why
that.
didn't Kevin come out early?
Yeah.
Fight with Sammy,
And then get knocked out by Jimmy or something. Yeah.
big
yeah.
solo from the crowd, bang to the neck. Kevin's dead. And then they go. you know,
If they went with KO coming out when he's supposed to,
I hate him
when
coming
he's
out
supposed to.
stupid late. And I understand the marks on there saying, yeah, but of course because of what happened with him. And no,
No,
garbage.
imagine
not
he
good
comes
enough.
out, stunners everybody, pulls him over Roman. They win. They embrace. They hold the titles. It's like a Eddie Guerrero / unlisted name moment.
Yeah.
And it's like it would have just been so good. And then
Take it back on Raw.
I
don't
know it's
care.
like
Literally could be the next Stargate day or
if
whatever.
it was any other pay per view, it's like it would be such a great moment. It doesn't even matter almost what happens after.
Yeah.
But it's WrestleMania, and they need to plan, and they need to have something going into it. It's the biggest show of the year.
Of course, and we get that Cody is a star. Like
Yeah,
it,
no,
like it or
undeniably.
not, and that's fine. And he's new to the WWE universe in this character, so it's going to
He's
take
never
time
been
for
this
everyone to
over
get, no.
in this universe.
And people don't know this character, the Nightmare Cody Rhodes, that much yet. We know it if you've watched AEW, but in terms of WWE fans who only watch this show,
Yeah.
the Four Jobbers and WWE, they've only seen Cody, this new Cody coming back, and they've seen this little, so they don't even have a lot of, smoke around him yet. They don't have a lot of.
It's only smoke and mirrors. And that's Cody Rhodes. But
No, just Slash me.
Yes.
yeah, we'll see where it goes. I believe in Cody.
Safe
Right now, I want Roman to win, but
Yeah.
maybe Cody will win me over.
I think the guy who beats Sammy needs to beat Cody, in my opinion.
So keep it going with Roman, eh?
Why not?
So like Sammy versus Cody for a little bit. Cody wins. Sammy drops those two in the main, and we see.
I
where we go.
actually don't care anymore.
Yo,
Yeah, that's
props to I know.
I will still watch, but it
There's
definitely-
time.
it
There's still
definitely
time to build it
changed
up.
everything.
Yeah.
We'll be. I feel like we'll be more excited about other matches on the show rather than that one.
There's other matches
Definitely.
I'm very much excited
And that's
for.
the main event thing, and that's going to draw eyeballs because it's Cody Rhodes. It's
It
Roman
doesn't
Reigns, the
necessarily
streak
need
it in.
us to be excited.
No, that's it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that happens, I think, a lot. Like even in the press conference, Triple H talked about Pat Patterson. What he would have said, he would have focused on the fact that they got everyone that excited about wrestling.
Yeah.
And the crowd was that hot, and the rest doesn't matter. They say we wanted that reaction. The reaction we got it, and we move on. And obviously,
But the excuse of there being the highest of highs means that there was the lowest of lows.
when the
And
air gets sucked out of that building,
I'm sorry, it would have been even higher if he'd won.
yeah.
It would have been
And it wouldn't-
unimaginable.
It wouldn't have been as low as it is now if he had lost it 2 nights later at Raw.
And even
it would have
watching
been
it-
low, but it would have been like, well, fair.
Like you're
We
saying,
get
none of us were actually expecting. As much as we were on the bandwagon going, we're like, all of us in the back of our minds were like, we know it's not going to happen, but make it good. But if it had happened, nah.
Yo, like just a little moment, because obviously throughout the whole match we're saying F you Roman, Roman's the worst, blah blah blah. We all love Roman, He's incredible. Just every nuance to his heel character when he takes the 2 titles and he's flapping them, like everything he does. He was blowing kisses and like he was basking in it. Where before he would get rattled by it, he would get shaken by it. But now he's just like
he is in God.
Absorbs it. He absorbs it, and he's incredible. So I'm back on the Roman train, and I still love Sami. We'll see where it goes.
Pay-per-view over. You get to the end of the night. Everything considered, give me a rating.
0.
That's to be expected.
100% 0.
People are speaking very, very highly of this pay-per-view.
And I think it's for good reason.
They're saying, some people are saying it's the best Elimination Chamber pay-per-view.
It's arguably the worst pay-per-view I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, obviously we know why you say that.
Because the garbage finish.
So I'm putting my
take away the finish and give me a rating.
0.
all right.
Let's get a real rating here.
I'm gonna put my heart aside, and honestly, I would give the actual quality of the pay-per-view I almost want to say 8. Like,
mine's in the 8.
In the 8s.
Mine's in the 8.
Let's say a good.
Well,
no,
it's in
no,
the
no.
8s.
I'm saying 8.4.
8.4.
That feels right to me.
It was. I'll give it 8.1.
It was
8.1.
Yeah.
Mine's is lower because I'm including the finish and how it did leave a bitter taste in my mouth. But as somebody who's not from Montreal, it doesn't have the same effect for me. Fucking hell, bells going everywhere.
Frank's playing with his toy.
I'm gonna go with a 7.7.
Brad, 10 out of 10.
0. Yeah.
0.
Infinity.
0 for Brad.
No, I like.
I get it.
I'm just trying to take my emotion out of it. It was still a genuinely well executed pay-per-view until
the moment.
And it's not even that Sami lost.
It wasn't too many matches, which was good.
It wasn't too many matches. I felt like every match
Good,
minus
well-paced.
one got a chance to breathe and kind of get into a flow. The storylines were always there. It was good. Honestly, I could see it being
if Sami
a jobby
right?
winner or contender.
Right now, I just want to return all the merch I bought. I think I should get a refund. I want a refund on my ticket. I want a refund on everything I've ever bought from WWE. I want a refund on every video game I've ever bought. I got stacks of shirts. I want them all returned. Video games, cups.
Send him a receipt.
Well,
File a lawsuit.
we'll see if WWE can win Brad back at some point.
Well, let's find out.
Well,
Hey,
I think Brad's clearly upset, so I will say that you can. First of all, I won the predictions. I am the GOAT. Acknowledge me, your tribal wax.
Ugh.
No, no. Okay.
the last thing I want
Not
is some
gonna-
Tribal asshole.
Well,
loose tribal asshole.
I did good. But you can follow us on all socials at the 4 Jobbers. 4 spelled FOUR, not the number. On Instagram, on Twitter. Hello at the 4 Jobbers on email, on YouTube. And you can see us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Again, everyone that we got to meet this weekend in Montreal, there's faces that I remember and names I forget. But if you saw any of us this weekend, just know it was great to meet you, and we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thank you for listening.
You made the Scotsman very happy.
It was so nice to be able to record this live together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God, fucking
The recording was fine, but you make me. We'll end on this segment. Now you want me to get excited about ending the podcast? I'm about to fucking leave the podcast.
I'm gonna end your life. Shut your mouth.
Do it.
Honestly, right?
We love you all. Have a nice evening.
Delete.
Goodbye.
And remember, if you're going to help your friend, make sure you get there before the match ends.
True.
That's it. Yeah. Don't wait until after.
Yeah.
Kevin! Get my claws!
4 Jobbers out.
Fuck this. Fuck everything.
Oh, I need a dump.
Cut. Print. See you next year.
We love wrestling. Goodbye.
Yeah, it was almost 2 hours.
Was it really?
I guess we could say it's a special edition. Like, we were all live and
I was
together.
like, man, they drank all those beers, but then 2 hours.
They drank all those. Why'd you get? They drank all those beers.
Because I was like, I only drank one.
I only drank one. Well, you drank a big one though.
That's true. It was a big can. Big
Oh,
jug.
it's still going.